the police chase, as police has been chasing him not only in Punjab but also in the neighboring Haryana, in Uttarakhand, in Himachal, in Rajasthan and Delhi as well. Teams have also been sent to Nanded Sahab and even in the neighboring country, Nepal. So Amritpal Singh finally wants to surrender, but with some riders. He is telling the administration that, telling the religious leaders as well to call a Sarbat Khalsa, so that the decisions may be pro-Khalistan, may be separatist, could be taken before he surrenders. He wants to get a religious and political mileage as well. So he is not keen to surrender immediately, but wants that first the religious leaders call this religious congregation a religious court sort of thing before he surrenders. And sources telling us that Amritpal Singh has, through his mediator, has also told the Punjab police that in case he is arrested, he should be kept in a Punjab jail and should not be lodged in any other jail, like his close aides were lodged in Assam's Dibrugarh jail. So this purported video clearly speaks his language, and he is targeting two things and playing as a victim card.
If anyone thought that this investigation was going well, think again. From what Manjeet is telling us, it's Amritpal Singh who's trying to actually dictate terms and conditions right now to the Punjab police and the administration, saying if I surrender, if I cooperate with you, you have to do this and this and this for me. Thereby, you're making him much bigger than he actually is. Let's get you all the latest updates of what's happened in the last 24 hours. Is Amritpal Singh going to be surrendering in this particular entire case and this manhunt that we've been seeing for him? We tell you all the latest in our report.
Amritpal Singh, the Waris Punjab De chief who was at the center of a manhunt by police of 8 states, turned out to be hiding in Punjab. After a tearing 12-day run from multiple teams of police, Amritpal escaped the police dragnet by jumping from his getaway car and slipping into the dark. In Punjab's Hoshiarpur, 2 people who were driving in an Isuzu behind the Innova SUV, which was being used by Amritpal and aide Papalpreet, were caught. After the interrogation, the duo revealed that both the fugitives were indeed with them.
Pro-Khalistani leader Amritpal Singh and his close aide Papalpreet Singh are on the run. This is Marnaiya village in Hoshiarpur district, located just 7 kilometers from the district headquarters. There was an alert that Amritpal Singh and Papalpreet Singh could be hiding in this village. In fact, police launched a massive search operation but took away the vehicle which was being used by 2 unidentified persons who could be hiding in this village.
As per sources, late on Tuesday night, Amritpal was going to Jalandhar for an interview with an international news channel ahead of his planned surrender. As the Punjab Police Intelligence Unit got a tip-off, its personnel started chasing Amritpal and Papalpreet. And after being stopped at the Hoshiarpur police checkpost, Amritpal fled, leaving behind the car, vanishing into the darkness. Punjab police cordoned off the entire area and house-to-house searches were conducted, but it all turned futile. The Waris Punjab De chief has been playing hide-and-seek with the police since escaping from his hometown, Jallupur Kheda. He was then spotted in multiple occasions across Punjab. After escaping past toll plazas and using bikes and motor carts to escape Punjab police, hot on his trail. He had even given a slip to Punjab police officials, chasing him on an SUV by slipping out of his car into a narrow lane. After getting help of a woman friend in Haryana, Amritpal was last seen in Delhi's Madhu Vihar, once again helped by his women friends. In Delhi, he sported a changed look with cropped hair and also shed his trademark turban. Amid speculations that he was on the verge of crossing over to Nepal, the fugitive was spotted in UP's Lakhimpur Khedi. With the intensifying manhunt, Amritpal has now been finally traced to Punjab. In these 12 days, the fugitive may have covered over 1,100 kilometers, changed multiple vehicles, used public transport buses, altered his looks completely, and went past multiple cities, virtually unchallenged. The Punjab police failing to catch him each time. With Kamaljeet Sandhu, Manjeet Sehgal, and Satyendra Chauhan, Bureau Report, India Today.
So what we've been saying for the last 11 days is the cops essentially on a wild, completely blind goose chase. Why do I say that? Let's get you all the CCTV images that we've accessed here on India Today that gives us the closest hint of where Amritpal could be. March 18, the day the arrest warrant was issued, that was the closest the Punjab police actually came to arresting Amritpal Singh. At 11:27, Amritpal Singh was seen in this vehicle. He had escaped from his Mercedes and in this car, which you see the number here, 1818, seated in a toll booth, he's seated in the car. Let's get you the next footage. Keep this time in mind, 11:27 a.m. Soon after that, 10 minutes later, he switches cars. We showed you the white Mercedes he was traveling in. He then gets out and switches to a Brezza. And he was spotted in several locations there where he's seen seated in a Brezza car now, knowing that the cops are hot on his trail. From there, from that particular moment, soon after this particular sequence, let's get you the next one, you can see that Amritpal Singh knows that he's in more trouble. So then he dumps the Brezza. He then gets onto a bike with several aides clearly helping him out. The man you see there in that pink reddish turban, that's Amritpal Singh. He's seated in that bike, sitting pillioned there with his shades and traveling so that nobody recognizes him. This was at about 11:56 a.m. again, March 18, the same day that the arrest warrant was issued. After that, then on this motor cart, he's seen having loaded the bike onto the cart. He's seen seated there. This right here is Amritpal Singh. And again on the same date, so again it's estimated in the afternoon or so, while he was trying to flee from Jalandhar, this particular sequence was also captured. Let's get you the next one. Now after this is when he tried to clearly leave from Punjab. Amritpal Singh was spotted at the Kurukshetra bus stand. So he managed to get all the way there. And mind you, this was after a narrow escape from the cops who managed to corner him. But then he gets off from the vehicle and runs into a narrow bylane and then changes his clothes, changes his look, and then is seen walking there as he's getting ready to board a bus. This is at the Kurukshetra bus stand in Haryana on the same day, on March 18th. Let's get you the next sequence. 2 days later, March 20th. Where is Amritpal Singh? He's seen in Amritsar. He's seen wearing a jacket and trousers. Notice here how different he looks from how he did on March 18th. And that's largely what Amritpal Singh has been doing, changing his look constantly, walking casually on a road, no fear, not underground, none of that. He's seen talking on his phone as he's walking up and down. Now, after that, this picture came to the fore. Now, there's a lot of questions about exactly when this picture is from, but this picture is with Papalpreet Singh. Papalpreet is his aide. He's seen enjoying an energy drink. He was known to be in Delhi at this point. So there's footage also from Delhi. After that, now, cops are saying he's in Amritsar, but who's to know at this point, considering he's releasing videos and the police have no clue where he is. Instead, they're negotiating with him. When he went to all of these locations, how is it that Amritpal Singh got away from the clutches of the cops? Where has he been hiding? Where has he been staying? Who's been helping him out? Amritpal Singh is accompanied by his aide Papalpreet Singh. And what we've decoded here on India Today is that there was a massive lady network, about 10 female friends in each of these locations, in Haryana, in Delhi, in Punjab, who've helped Amritpal and Papalpreet Singh avoid the cops. They gave him shelter, they gave him food. So that's how he's managed to remain completely hidden for the last 11 days.
From Punjab to Haryana to Delhi. Even after being declared a fugitive and multi-state police crackdown, Amritpal managed to repeatedly change locations. But how? India Today investigated and unearthed his lady network, who he used as pawns for shelter. Sources have informed India Today that Amritpal and his sidekick Papalpreet are known to have many female friends. More than 10 of them are on the radar. Amritpal used their houses to take shelter, be it Patiala, Haryana, and even in Delhi. 3 women in the capital have been tracked down and being interrogated by the cops for helping Amritpal. In Haryana's Kurukshetra, where Amritpal was seen boarding a bus, the Khalistani fugitive had helped there too. This is Baljeet Kaur, a middle-aged woman living in Kurukshetra who has been arrested by cops for harboring Amritpal and his aide. She claims she had no idea who they were.
कौन लेकर आया था अमृतपाल?
जो हमारे जानकार थे पपलप्रीत सिंह, जिनको मैं मतलब इंस्टाग्राम के माध्यम से जानती थी।
अच्छा।
हाँ जी। नहीं सर, बिल्कुल नहीं पहचान रही थी क्योंकि उन्होंने पग बांधी हुई थी और चश्मा लगाया हुआ था, मास्क पहना हुआ।
क्या बोला था अमृतपाल ने कि कहाँ जा रहा है वो?
नहीं, उन्होंने सर इसके बारे में हमें कोई इन्फॉर्मेशन नहीं।
This is the elaborate femme fatale plot used by Amritpal Singh to evade cops for so long. And don't forget, besides these 10 odd women who helped him, his wife also actively helped him to get funds. With Manjeet Sehgal from Hoshiarpur, Bureau Report, India Today.
Serious questions will be asked right now of the Punjab administration. And make no doubt in your mind, this is the biggest test right now for the AAP government in Punjab. We'll continue asking those questions, tracking the story very closely. On the other side of a short break here on 6 p.m. Prime, I'm getting you the latest on the Congress's fight against the BJP over Rahul's disqualification.
ईडी, सीबीआई, इनकम टैक्स जैसी एजेंसियों का दुरुपयोग हो रहा है और लगातार विपक्ष के नेताओं को इस पर निशाना बनाया जा रहा है। इस पर आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
देखिए, जब 2017 की मैं बात कर रहा हूं, यूपी का चुनाव था, कांग्रेस की एक बड़ी नेत्री ने कहा कि भ्रष्टाचार हमने किया था तो क्यों कार्यवाही नहीं हो रही, हम पर सवाल खड़े करे थे। अब हो रही है तो हाय तौबा कर रहे हैं।
It's good news for Harry Potter fans as the star Daniel Radcliffe is expecting his first child with longtime girlfriend Ed Doug. The actress also showed off her baby bump as the couple was seen taking a stroll in New York City.
What happened?
You don't know?
Welcome back. Let's get you now a report on the latest as far as the political war on Rahul's disqualification is concerned. The Congress has kicked off now a massive campaign, leading press conferences across the nation starting today. Rahul Gandhi himself is going to be in Karnataka. Why is that significant? He's going to be holding a rally in Kolar, in the very same place where in 2019 he'd made the comment on Modi that led to his conviction. Mission 2024 turning into a battle of Modi versus Gandhis. The Congress has kick-started its month-long mass agitation, Jai Bharat Maha Satyagrah, to protest what it calls the murder of democracy. The Grand Old Party is milking the disqualification of Rahul Gandhi as an MP to garner sympathy of the Aam Aadmi. On Wednesday, the party's top leaders held a series of press conferences in 35 major cities across the country.
हमारे वक्त में हमारे खिलाफ ये बीजेपी बनी थी, राहुल गांधी जी, राजीव गांधी के वक्त में। आपको याद ही है, बॉफोर्स को लेके जो झूठा केस बनाया गया, तभी जेपी बनी थी। जेपी जी कई बार बनी है, तो जेपी जी बना के आप दूध का दूध पानी का पानी क्यों नहीं करना चाहते हो? उसे ना मोदी जी को नुकसान है अगर कोई गलती नहीं किए तो, ना अडानी को नुकसान है। नुकसान तब है जो कोई गलती की है और सच्चाई सामने आएगी। अगर आप जवाब नहीं दे रहे, उसका मतलब आप मानते हो आप सच्चाई पे हो, तो आप जेपी से बैठाइए, मालूम पड़ जाएगा आपको।
जेपीसी की जो हमारी मांग है उस पर सरकार ने कुछ नहीं किया। उल्टा जो जेपीसी की मांग करने में सबसे आगे आवाज उठाकर चल रहे हैं राहुल गांधी जिनका नाम है, उनको परेशान करने में कोई कसर इस सरकार ने नहीं छोड़ी।
The Narendra Modi government is fielding its top ministers to defend Rahul's disqualification.
Mindset of Mr. Rahul Gandhi is that he is entitled to rule this country. That is his mindset. That mindset makes him question every court. That mindset makes him question the institution of speaker. That mindset makes him question the very democratic setup that India has.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has taken the fight to the opposition camp by calling the newly forged opposition unity an attempt to protect the corrupt, provoking angry reactions from his rivals.
आप सब देख रहे हैं, कुछ दलों ने मिलकर भ्रष्टाचारी बचाओ अभियान छेड़ा हुआ है। आज भ्रष्टाचार में लिप्त जितने भी चेहरे हैं, वो सब एक साथ एक मंच पर आ रहे हैं। पिछले 9 साल में भाजपा सरकार ने भ्रष्टाचार के खिलाफ जो अभियान चलाया, उसने आज भ्रष्टाचार और भ्रष्टाचारियों दोनों की जड़ें हिला दी है।
भ्रष्टाचारी तो वो खुद है, एक लुटेरे लोगों को, जो लोग भगोड़े हैं, यहाँ के पैसे लेके गए हैं, बैंक लूटे हैं, कर्जा यानी इंडस्ट्रीज के नाम पे, इन्वेस्टमेंट के नाम पे चंद लोग बैंकों से, LIC से पैसे उठाकर अपनी संपत्ति बढ़ा रहे हैं और चंद लोग तो भाग जा रहे हैं। उनके पीछे तो ये नहीं गिरे, उनको तो कुछ भी नहीं बोल रहे, उनके बारे में इंक्वायरी करने को तैयार नहीं, JPC करने को तैयार नहीं। तो क्या वो करप्ट है? करप्ट लोगों के साथ मिले हैं क्या हम? तो करप्ट लोगों को सपोर्ट वो कर रहे हैं। ये चोर उल्टा कोतवाल को डांटे, ऐसी बात हो रही है।
The opposition is keeping the heat on in Parliament as well. For 3 days now, Congress leaders have been attending the House in black attire as they stalled proceedings demanding a JPC probe into the Adani share crisis.
Question number 401.
नो कॉन्फिडेंस मतलब अविश्वास की प्रस्ताव की बात किसी ने कहे होंगे, ऐसा नहीं। हम मेंबरों ने की ये सोच भी रहे हैं, लेकिन इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि अविश्वास प्रस्ताव आ गए हैं, पारित होने वाला है। सारे इनकी तो ज़्यादा रंगदारी शंका के बल पे ना, ये सरकार ये क्या है? सरकार ये है कि मतलब टायरानी ऑफ द मेजोरिटी, ये सरकार का असली सूरत है।
In a big show of opposition unity, TMC Supremo Mamta Banerjee is holding a 2-day dharna against the centre in Kolkata. Will Mission 2024 be Modi versus a unified opposition? Much could change in the coming months. Bureau Report, India Today.
Honorable Minister.
That's all we have time for in this edition of 6 p.m. Prime. Thanks very much for tuning in. Don't go anywhere. Coming up on the other side, Nabila Jamal joins you live from Namma, Bengaluru to kick off our Karnataka coverage. The poll dates are out. Karnataka has just begun. Nabila will be getting you those updates.
A very, very eventful last weekend for you, and I'm sure especially for you, your phone wouldn't have stopped ringing. For a whole lot of people would have been wanting to understand from you the impact of all of this. So I wanted to take first your reaction. What was your first thought when you heard about this amendment in the finance bill? And as per your understanding, how will this really change life for AMCs at large, and what will be the impact of this on the total assets under management for AMCs?
Yeah, no, thanks Sakshi for having part of the show today. I think first reaction as we came to know on Thursday night that there's an amendment that is being now introduced in the finance bill. Of course, all of us were taken aback and surprised that how come this has all of a sudden has come when it was not being part of the budgetary provisions. And then of course we try to understand what is the background from which it has come, and is there anything that can be done by way of making representation through AMFI as well as SAB. While that's an effort that we are immediately getting into action in terms of what we can do. But having said that, then as the amendment got passed in the parliament, then actually we have to make an assumption that that the amendment has now become final, and therefore we have to live with for the time being what has been presented. I think what came as a surprise is given the fact that Indian mutual fund industry have been growing at a very steady state of growth, and having close to about 16 lakh crores coming in the fixed income out of the 40 lakh crore that Indian industry has been managing. And the mutual fund also been playing the role of one, channelizing the savings into the capital market, both in equity as well as in fixed income. At the same time, provides a greater depth to the corporate bond market in the country. And we have been a provider of another source of financing for most of the company needs, and we have been doing. Therefore, these taxations introduction was a bit surprise for us, given the fact that the role that we are playing actually benefit both investors on the one side and the capital market on the other side, and third is the corporate bond market development on the other side. Therefore, we are a bit surprised, but anyway, government has gone by that assumption that we need to have a uniform taxations across all products, across all industry players. I think probably the finance minister has been living up to the the effort that she is taking for simplified tax structure. So going by that, I think they seems to have taken it in the final bill when they were getting amended.
Age is just a number. This line fits perfectly for Dharam Chand from Haryana. He is 86 but is still running, jumping and winning medals. His secret?
मैं बच्चों को सबको यही प्रेरणा देता हूँ कि आप मेरी तरह ग्राउंड के साथ जुड़े और सब वैभव से मुक्त होकर आप अपनी सेहत को, अपने शरीर को ठीक रखें। सन 68 से लेकर आज तक मैं कंटिन्यूड रेगुलर पोजीशन लेता आ रहा हूँ।
The 4th National Masters Athletics Championship, which recently took place in Kurukshetra, saw more than 2,400 participants from 22 states. 72-year-old Mahavir Singh is one of them.
मैं यही संदेश देना चाहता हूँ, भाई नशे से दूर रहें और खेलों से जुड़ें। आप खेलना जरूरी है, कोई जरूरी नहीं कोई मेडल जीते। मेरे को 40 साल खेलते हुए हो गए हैं और 20 साल से मैं इसमें मास्टर एथलेटिक्स एसोसिएशन में खेलता हूँ।
Several women also participated in different events.
हमारे टाइम में लड़कियों को खेलने का मौका नहीं मिलता था, तो एक अच्छा प्लेटफॉर्म मुझे लगता है कि ये हमें मिला है कि इस उम्र में आके भी हम मेहनत करके अपनी अचीवमेंट दे सकते हैं। और एक ये ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म है कि इस पे अगर आप आएंगे तो शायद मुझे जो लगता है, अपने जीवन से जो लगता है कि हम किसी गलत ट्रैक पर नहीं जाएंगे।
The message these athletes are sending is, it is never too late to chase your passion. Bureau Report, India Today.
कर्नाटक की सरकार देश में सबसे भ्रष्ट सरकार है।
मोदी जी का जादू हर जगह सर चढ़कर बोलता है।
कर्नाटक की सरकार 40% की सरकार है।
कर्नाटका के लोगों ने संकल्प ले लिया है, मोदी तेरा कमल खिलेगा।
the Congress was in power, Karnataka was in harmony.
Congress party is going to win the election.
दुनिया आज भारत की तरफ देख रही है और भारत हमारे कर्नाटका की तरफ देख रहा है।
A very good evening. You're watching India Today, State of War, Karnataka. I'm Nabila Jamal. This is where I bring to you every latest update coming in from Karnataka ahead of elections. Of course, the big day today as the Election Commission has announced the poll dates for Karnataka. I'm going to take you through the biggest news points of the day. Let me start first with DK Shivkumar making some really scathing allegations against the Election Commission. Even as the poll dates were announced by the EC today, much earlier than what was anticipated, Congress leader DK Shivkumar now levels charges against the Election Commission, claiming that the BJP has bought over the Election Commission. Our news break too, coming to Karnataka Chief Minister Basuraj Bommai, who makes some really, in fact, really damning allegations against the Congress's DK Shivkumar, saying the Congress's desperation is now out in the open because the Congress is trying so hard to poach BJP netas. Bommai says our netas are strong, they're not going to go anywhere. And our big news break point 3 this time that we're covering in our show here is Rahul Gandhi, the suspended MP, decides to kick off a huge rally in Kolar, the poll-bound state of Karnataka. The rally is going to be scheduled on the 5th of April. All eyes on Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party with Rahul's rally on 5th. These are our points that we're going to touch upon in this election special from Karnataka. Let me show you my quick view right here, the most iconic Bowring Institute right here on St. Mark's Road. Bengaluru right now is gearing up, people now coming forward to really take a close look at who are the netas that they are looking forward to come to power here this time in Karnataka. The first update, as I did mention, DK Shivkumar has made some really scathing, harsh allegations on the Election Commission, saying that the EC is biased. This is a big claim made by DK Shivkumar as he lashes out at the Election Commission for allowing 80+ voters in the state of Karnataka, who comprise of nearly 12 lakh voters, to vote from the comfort of their home. This was a provision given by the Election Commission, but DK Shivkumar says Election Commission has been bought over. They have allowed for 12 lakh people to vote from the comfort of their home. This is a way and a ploy of the BJP to rig elections. Let's cut across to this exclusive reaction coming in from DK Shivkumar, who says he's going to take up this matter formally with the Election Commission. They're going to appeal against allowing 80+ voters to vote from their home. Listen in.
We are going to file our objection on that 8 years of age.
Okay.
Because almost 8,000 per voters.
Nearly 12 lakhs.
12 lakh voters. They want to misuse them using the official machinery.
But don't you think it's convenient for them if it's...
No. It may be convenient, but at the same time, they have the government in the hand. It is a caretaker government. They will try to misuse, but we'll be very cautious on this point.
So all right, you heard that the Election Commission is trying to misuse this opportunity. BJP is trying to misuse the Election Commission and try to rig elections by allowing 80+ voters in the state of Karnataka to vote from the comfort of their home. Anagha Keshav, our correspondent, joining us live from Bengaluru. Anagha, over to you. A big allegation made by DK Shivkumar saying that the Election Commission is bought over by the BJP. That BJP is using the EC to somehow manipulate elections as they fear a loss in the state.
That's right, Nabila. A huge, allegation levelled by the tallest leader of Congress party, DK Shivkumar, in an exclusive interview to you, of course. Him saying that this, Election Commission is completely rigged. And remember, this is not the first time that he's saying it. He also made similar statements saying that Gujarat EVMs should not be used in Karnataka. And even in the press conference that he held today, he said that, of course, the Central Election Commission is not agreeing to this, but they have agreed to give us new EVM machines. Big allegation made by DK Shivkumar.
All right. Of course, one can't expect everyone to be all happy with what the Election Commission's announcement, what they made today. 10th of May is when the elections are going to take place. 13th of May is when counting will take place. And this is going to be a single-phase election. We've compiled all of this information for you in this detailed report. Karnataka elections, the real dangal, the real nataka begins today as the poll code of conduct comes into play.
The stage is set for Karnataka Assembly elections. The Election Commission on Wednesday announced voting for the 224-member Karnataka Legislative Assembly will be held on May 10th. Results will be declared 3 days later on May 13th. While the election dates have come out, the battle had begun months in advance, with the BJP, Congress and JDS hitting the campaign trail.
BJP is always a ever-ready party. We don't prepare for elections. We prepare for organization and we prepare for welfare of the people, and we are ready.
The BJP is banking heavily on Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who has already visited Karnataka 7 times in the last 3 months. Karnataka Congress Chief Shivakumar has alleged the EC delayed announcement of poll dates to facilitate Prime Minister Modi's inauguration spree in the state.
At any point of time, we are ready. What they do, they took their own time for the Prime Minister, Home Minister come to do and give advertisement to all the media. Congress is well prepared for it.
While the BJP is expected to release their first list next week, the Congress and JDS have already given their first list of 124 and 93 candidates respectively. The BJP is fuming after a few of its leaders crossed over to the Congress in the run-up to the elections.
ನೋಡಿ, ನನಗೆ ಬಂದಿರೋ ಮಾಹಿತಿ DK ಶಿವಕುಮಾರ್ ಅವರು ಈ ಎರಡನೇ ಪಟ್ಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಮಾರು 100 ಸೀಟುಗಳಿಗೇನಿದೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ BJP MLAಗಳಿಗೆ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಖಾಲಿ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇವೆ, ನಿಮಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಬನ್ನಿ, ನೀವು ಬಂದರೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹಲವಾರು MLAಗಳಿಗೆ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದು ಅವರ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ತೋರಿಸ್ತದೆ.
Corruption is one of the big issues in Karnataka, with the Bommai government being accused of Commission Raj in the state. The BJP has kept the Hindutva pitch alive and is doing some deft social engineering.
As the Election Commission of India announces Karnataka Assembly polls on the pious day of Durga Ashtami, the Congress Party and people of Karnataka resolved to throw out the BJP's 40% commission Sarkara, which has brazenly looted the state.
यह कांग्रेस का बहुत पुराना जुमला है और कांग्रेस कई महीने से कर रही है. कांग्रेस जमीन पे कहीं है नहीं. पिछले 3 से 4 महीने देखेंगे तो कांग्रेस ने कोई कार्यक्रम नहीं किया. आपस में DK कुमार और सिद्धरमैया की जो झगड़ा है, एक दूसरे को देखते नहीं है, उसके कारण कांग्रेस में भी काफी अपना सिर फटौल हो रहा है.
While Karnataka is a do-or-die battle for the Congress, which is reduced to power in just 2 states, the BJP is fighting to retain its only southern state.
Congress are quite confident that they will be winning this particular election after aggressive campaign against BJP of corruption charges. But BJP believe that Prime Minister Narendra Modi's wave as well as Yadurappa will try to fetch the votes for them in the days to come. On the other side, the Kingmaker JDS believe that they might play a crucial role in this particular election, where SD Kumaraswamy had said that he have offers from both the parties to join the hands. With you, journalist Shivamurthy Sagairaj reporting for India Today, Bengaluru.
The Election Commission made the announcement, we saw some really huge allegations coming in from the BJP, Basuraj Bommai. He claims that the Congress is trying to poach some of the BJP MLAs, and he hears that BJP MLAs are receiving calls from DK Shivkumar. This is a big allegation coming in from the state of Karnataka as elections now heating up. Election updates here coming in left, right and centre. And this is a real harsh allegation made against the Congress for a change, where Bommai says Congress is trying to poach his MLAs by calling them and wooing them into the party. Let's cut across exactly what the Chief Minister Basuraj Bommai had to say as he accuses Congress of being desperate, and that desperation is out in the open now.
ನೋಡಿ, ನನಗೆ ಬಂದಿರೋ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಡಿ ಕೆ ಶಿವಕುಮಾರ್ ಅವರು ಈ ಎರಡನೇ ಪಟ್ಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಮಾರು 100 ಸೀಟುಗಳಿಗೇನಿದೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಬಿ ಜೆ ಪಿ ಎಮ್ ಎಲ್ ಎಗಳಿಗೆ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಖಾಲಿ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇವೆ, ನಿಮಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಬನ್ನಿ, ನೀವು ಬಂದರೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹಲವಾರು ಎಮ್ ಎಲ್ ಎಗಳಿಗೆ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದು ಅವರ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ತೋರಿಸ್ತದೆ. ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಅಷ್ಟು ಗಟ್ಟಿಯಾಗಿ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಎಮ್ ಎಲ್ ಎಗಳಿಗೆ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಓಪನ್ನಾಗಿ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸರಾಸಗಟವಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮದಿನ ನಿರ್ಣಯ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಬಂದರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅನ್ನೋಂಥ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಹತಾಶ ಮನೋಭಾವನೆ ತೋರಿಸ್ತದೆ. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಮತ್ತು ನನಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಅವರು ಹೋಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ.
Kumar, right after the Election Commission announced poll dates, I spoke to him in an exclusive and he claims, well, allegations are allegations. One should not speak about the kind of corruption that lies within the BJP. He's retorted in this exclusive. Listen in. What do the dates do for the Congress party? Are you in a huddle now to roll out the second list of candidates?
I'm very happy the Election Commission has said that one day it is good for the Congress party, and a lot of demands were there. They were just trying to loot every day, misusing government machinery. The earlier the better, but short term for the election preparation, we agree with it. But we have an objection on this 80 years of voting, which has been they have announced. But they will try to misuse the official machinery. We are going to file our objection on that 8 years of age.
Okay.
Because almost 8,000 per voters.
Nearly 12 lakhs.
12 lakh voters. They want to misuse them using the official machinery.
But don't you think it's convenient for them if it's...
No. It may be convenient, but at the same time, they have the government in the hand. It is a caretaker government. They will try to misuse, but we'll be very cautious on this point.
So here the Election Commission has spoken about money bags and warned people flexing with money. There was a video that's come out of yours throwing some cash at people. Bommai has accused that this is Congress's nature. What would you say?
Bommai, I don't know. He has to tell about 8 crores of money seized in his own MLA. That he has to answer. He has not answered. The Prime Minister has not answered. He has to answer on 40% commission. He has to answer on PSA scam, which he was the Home Minister. He is the father of corruption in Karnataka. And he and his government, because why they changed the Chief Minister, and one minister has to resign on a bed, one has to resign on a corruption. So what more you need? You don't need any other replies to it. It is the Lokayukta has given a reply. He was asking for us what is the witness, and the Lokayukta has given a witness to him.
So, as much as we see that the Congress is now trying hard to make it to the finish point with a win this time, there are also there's talk about who's going to be the CM face. Is DK Shivkumar going to be the CM in Karnataka if Congress wins?
Let us not discuss on the CM. May 10th is a day for a change. May 10th is a day to root out corruption. May 10th is a day for the good governance of Karnataka, for a better Bangalore, for a global Karnataka, and it will be for a change. I think the double engine has failed, and a new engine for a prosperous and a progressive Karnataka will come on May 10th. Right. And that I wish that the people of Karnataka will use the new engine.
All right, we heard you, but is Congress reverse engineering? Are you trying to poach BJP netas? Bommai says that you're making calls.
No, BJP leaders are on the way. A lot of people, they wanted to leave the BJP. They know that the engine have failed and they're coming. But see, 4 years, Mr. Puttana is a graduate teacher conscience. He resigned. Mr. Baburao Chinchisur is a sitting MLC. Like that, sitting legislators who are there, who had that term, have resigned. They feel that they did not get their voice, they did not get their choice, they feel that it is the most corrupt government. They can't face the people of Karnataka with this type of administration, so they all are on the way to join the Congress party.
Disqualified Rahul Gandhi is going to come to Kolar for a Yatra. Is that going to help?
He is being disqualified by the BJP leader. He is not being disqualified by the people of Karnataka or the people of this country. People love him. He has joined the people of this country on Bharat Jodo. That is the big strength. So he is coming here on 5th April. Satyameva Jayate rally is going to start. That will be the beginning of the end of Karnataka and the national government.
That note, I'm going to slip into a short break. We'll be right back with a lot more on the other side. Stay with us.
Arnab, after Jio's telecom price wars, what's the Reliance game plan in the FMCG space?
Given the kind of action that is happening in the market, because Reliance has already invested over $1.1 billion in acquisition of brands and partnerships as per a recent report, and it is expected by Morgan Stanley and JP Morgan that it is going to invest another $4 billion in over the next 3 to 5 years, which is equivalent to 33,000 crore in today's currency terms. So that is a significant investment that they are making, and the market competitors in the market, like other leading players, FMCG players, are obviously taking note. Like for example, very recently, Mr. Varun Bedi has said that he is closely watching the development that Reliance and the new products that are coming up from the behemoth. And secondly, if you look at the Reliance's game plan, they have not only purchased new brands or launched new products, but they have also hired some of the key industry veterans. Like for example, they have hired Mr. K. Krishnakumar to head their beverages portfolio, which now includes Campa Cola, a well-known brand from 1970s and 80s. So, of course, industry competitors like HUL and others are obviously watching the developments very closely, and given the kind of price that Reliance is offering in competition to these leading multinationals, of course, there could be some price cuts by them as well, the industry insiders tell us. And if you notice that HUL, after cutting pack sizes significantly over the last 2 years due to inflation, they have now started to increase their pack sizes in terms of grammage. They have started to increase the size of their packs at the same rate of late in the last one and a half months.
Ram Charan is one of the biggest stars of Telugu film industry. The actor who made his debut in 2007 with Chiruta has proved his acting credentials time and again and delivered some of the biggest Telugu hits. Magadira. His career might have gotten off to a slow start, but the turning point in Charan's career came in 2009 with the release of Magadira. The fantasy action film directed by S.S. Rajamouli was a rousing success at the box office and became the first film to cross 50, 60 and 70 crores in the Telugu film industry. Orange. Ram Charan then starred in 2010's Orange. The romantic drama, which was directed by Bhaskar, might have failed to deliver at the box office but has gained cult status over the years. Backed by terrific music, both fans and critics appreciated Charan's performance.
ఇంకొంచెం ప్రేమించడానికి ట్రై చేస్తా.
Yavadu. The actor then delivered another power-packed performance with the action film Yavadu, his third film in which the actor was seen in a dual role. The actor played both characters with different shades and variations. The film went on to collect about 60 crores at the box office.
Yavadu! నాకు ఒక ఇంపార్టెంట్ గోల్ ఉంది.
Dhruva. Ram then played an IPS officer in 2016, starrer Dhruva. The film, which also starred Papalpreet as the female lead, was high on action and drama.
all these years, we've ogled and been awestruck by this foldable. Because Samsung really has enjoyed the first mover advantage here in India and in most parts of the world. More importantly, a monopoly with the Samsung Flip 4 and of course the Samsung Fold as well. Now this one seemed almost flawless or perfect, and we always thought about how you can take things to the next level, make it better. The most satisfying thing though was wrapping up a phone call, maybe when your boss calls you the next time, and slamming this clamshell shut. Then comes a new contender, someone who wants to take on Samsung, especially here in India, the Oppo Find N2 Flip. So in this battle of foldables, or shall I say flippables, which is the real practical bet for you? More importantly, which one comes out on top? Well, that's what we're going to find out on Tech Today. After Galaxy Unpacked, we spent a few months with this device and we had exclusive access to this Oppo Find N2 Flip even before its global launch event in London, where we did all sorts of cool things with this device, took photos to really put it through its paces. And honestly, everything that could have been a complaint with the Flip 4 and you thought to yourself, hey, Samsung's going to fix it maybe with the Flip 5, the next one. It looks like Oppo has come in, swooped in, and made all those changes. And honestly, this one does pack a punch. The first thing was, the first gripe, when you open this up, the aspect ratio is a little weird. It doesn't seem like a smartphone. More importantly, the crease is clearly visible. If you're not nitpicking, then that's a great viewing experience, because Samsung is absolutely flawless with their usual bar phone displays. But when it comes to this particular foldable, well, that was something that annoyed a lot of people. Cue the Oppo Find N2 Flip, and it's almost like magic. A lot like their other foldable device, which never got here to Indian shores, but the crease isn't visible at all. And I think that's something they take a lot of pride in. And then when you slam this shut, firstly, let me tell you something. It feels a lot more like a device in your hand. When you hold the Oppo Find N2 Flip, it opens up the dimensions. The aspect ratio is a lot more like an ordinary phone. So it feels like you've got an iPhone or even a Samsung S23 in your hand once you open it up. Crease aside, another thing was this horizontal notification screen, which reminded you of the early 2000s. Very limited functionality. Even the cover screen, when you're using it for a camera, doesn't give you a proper perspective or a good understanding of how to use this device. But then when you have almost a secondary display, truly a secondary display, a vertical one too, with all sorts of fun functionality here, and more importantly, 6-7 widgets which can open up the camera app in a jiffy. If you're done with that, even here, the photo that you take on the camera is a lot more accurate, a good representation of what it would actually be like. On that note,
schedule for the Karnataka Assembly elections for 2023 would be like this.
Karnataka poll bugle sounded. The stakes are high. returns will be higher. An election where Congress is truly in the hunt. Rahul to kickstart Karnataka Yatra from Kolar. Same place he made the 2019 Modi defamatory speech. Rahul making a political point.
Without Gandhi family, Congress party will not be united. Without Congress party, country can't be united. This is what you would like to tell, that Rahul Gandhi will come here. It is his beginning, and we will see that Karnataka will root out this most corrupt capital state.
Is the formidable BJP on the back foot? Bommai accuses Congress of poaching. Has the third corner JDS already cut a side deal? Decoding the Nataka best is India's ace election crack team. Let the Nataka begin.
Good evening, viewers. Over the course of the next 45 minutes, we break it down on what the next 2 months, or rather what the next 1 month and 10 days would mean when it comes down to the state of Karnataka. Multiple developments that have taken place today. As the EC announced, 10th May is when Karnataka will go to polls. 13th May will be the counting. Interesting if you look at it. Since the year 2004, Karnataka has always come up with a hung assembly. Since 1985, it has never quite repeated the same government. The BJP hopes to change that, buck that trend. Will it be successful? The Congress for the first time truly in the hunt electorally. Many poll pundits would suggest possibly in pole position. Can the Congress build on it? Or like many suggest, which are poll panelists as well, that the Congress has a tendency to fetter it away. All of that over the next 45 minutes. I'm Preeti Chaudhary. These are the headlines. Massive suspense over Amritpal's surrender. Security tightened in Amritsar. Fugitive Amritpal releases video from hiding place victim and calls for mobilization. State of War Karnataka officially kicks off. Karnataka to vote on May 10th in one phase. Results to be out on May 13th. Politics erupts over a video of Karnataka Congress chief DKS showering wads of cash from a campaign bus. BJP alleges cash thrown at voters. DKS says money was for artists. Ex-MP Rahul Gandhi to lead Congress's new Satyamev Jayate Yatra from Kolar, the same constituency where he made the Modi remark in 2019. Opposition parties mull moving a no-confidence motion against Lok Sabha Speaker. This after Supreme Court reinstated Lakshmadeep MP Mohammad Faisal's membership. Namibia cheetah gives birth to 4 cubs at MP's Kuno National Park 3 days after Sasha, one of the cheetahs, had died due to kidney ailment. But these pictures warm your heart. All right, viewers, multiple developments that are coming to the fore. Let's take a look at the latest stories coming in from poll-bound Karnataka. Number one, the poll bugle has been sounded. The Karnataka Legislative Assembly polls have been announced by the Election Commission. The state goes to elections on the 10th of May and counting of votes to be held on the 13th. With the term for the 2023 Karnataka Assembly ending on the 24th, the state is all set to elect a fresh 224-member contingent. The other big development, Congress leader Rahul Gandhi now to kickstart a rally called Satyameva Jayate on April 5th from Kolar. This would kickstart Rahul Gandhi's poll campaign in Karnataka. Remember, it was in Kolar where Rahul made what is now being termed by the Gujarat court defamatory, the Modi remark, which led to his subsequent disqualification. Karnataka Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai has now accused the state chief Congress DK Shivakumar of poaching BJP MLAs, offering party tickets. He further accused the Congress and JDS of making a deal after an allegedly meeting in Hyderabad. The Congress says the BJP is on a back foot. And a side note, the Aam Aadmi Party will also fight in the upcoming Karnataka Assembly elections. AAP will contest all 224 seats in Karnataka. Earlier, party senior leaders released the party's manifesto for the ensuing polls earlier in the day. But will this just be a token fight by Arvind Kejriwal, where he trains his guns on elections coming in later in the year on states like Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh? And as Karnataka edges closer to the assembly election, State Congress Chief DK Shivakumar was spotted showering 500 rupee notes at artists carrying deities near Bevinnahalli in Mandya district during the Praja Dhwani Yatra organized by Congress party in Sri Nagapatna. Well, it's been a day of dramatic developments. Let's cut across directly to my colleague Sagai Raj, joining us live from Bengaluru. Sagai, put it all together for us. The poll bugle sounded. You have a busy poll season ahead. It's going to be a hot Deccan summer.
Absolutely, it is a hot summer, and probably the weather is changing now. And you can see in the evening, the temperature has become different, and it is old Bengaluru. And talking about the political weather, yes, it is hot and scorchy here in the state of Karnataka, where all three parties are in the loggerhead, where Congress wants to thrive this particular election, alleging corruption against the ruling BJP government. And BJP government is completely depending upon their star campaigner, that is Prime Minister Narendra Modi, as well as B.S. Yediyurappa. And that is the reason the BJP feels that they still have a chance in this particular election. On the other side, JDS is on edge, where what we also get to learn from H.D. Kumaraswamy is that he already got offers from both BJP and Congress to join hands with them. But BJP claims that they are not with them. There is already a deal which has been cracked between Congress and JDS in Hyderabad. But we need to wait and watch how it is going to turn around. On the day one, when the election day has been announced, there are a lot of political developments in the state where DK Shivakumar asked that EVM, which had been used in Uttar Pradesh and Gujarat, should not be given in Karnataka, and the same EVM should not be used during the electoral process. So there is a demand, and there is a counter attack from the BJP on the same. So a lot of development is expected as the day reaches near to the election, and all seems to be quite hot summer in the political weather of Karnataka.
Well, like I said, it's going to be a hot Deccan summer, Saga. I appreciate you joining us. We're going to continue to come to you and your entire battery of reporters who are going to descend on Karnataka, in Karnataka, as well as our crack team of our Karnataka Bureau, getting you the very latest coming in from the state over the course of the next 45 days. But if you have to encapsulate, there are lots of permutations, combinations, questions. But if it comes down to three questions, and I'd like to quote a fellow colleague journalist who said it very aptly, that in the Karnataka elections, the Congress needs to fight this election as a regional party. The BJP needs to fight this election as a national party, and the JDS needs to fight this election as the party of the Gaudas. And that's what it will practically come down to. So the three big questions that we raise in a number of subsets of questions. Number one, can Congress keep the election regional, localized? Question number two, can BJP nationalize the election with the face of the Prime Minister Narendra Modi? Question number three, is JDS hoping for a hung house to come in and play kingmaker, while both sides, be it the Congress or the BJP, are making noises that the JDS already cut a post-poll sweep deal with the other, which is the BJP alleging the Congress alleging the BJP. Let's take these questions right now directly to our guest this evening. Joining me is Malavika Avinash, spokesperson, Bharatiya Janata Party; Rajiv Gowda, former MP, Rajya Sabha and National Spokesperson, Congress; Dr. Sandeep Shastri, National Coordinator, Lokniti Network; Sanjay Kumar, Co-director Lokniti CSDS and psephologist Saeed Aslam will be joining us from the JDS in a short while. And in the studio with me, Rajdeep Sardesai, consulting editor, Rahul Srivastav, national affairs editor as well. So you have the crack team in terms of poll punditry in the studio and all our other political panelists. Rajdeep, let me begin with you, which I was quoting. You know, a fellow colleague of ours who's said it very aptly. The Congress needs to fight this election as a regional party. The BJP needs to fight this election as a national party. And the JDS needs to fight this election as the party of the Gowdas. Agree?
Yes, particularly the first two. I'm not sure about the JDS fighting it just as a party of the Gowdas. But certainly, I believe the BJP is going to have to use the Narendra Modi factor, because so interestingly in Karnataka, look at what happened in the 2019 Lok Sabha election compared to 2018 Vidhan Sabha. 2018 BJP was party number one, but there was a hung assembly. 2019, just 9 months, 10 months later, the BJP won 26 out of 28 seats. So clearly, the BJP was able to use the Narendra Modi factor and make it, in a way, a national election. The Congress, on the other hand, will believe that the caste arithmetic of Karnataka, the way it's playing out this time, could work in its favor. Mallikarjun Kharge, national president, Dalit from Karnataka, Siddaramaiah has traditionally attempted to carve out a backward caste alliance, strong among Muslim community, and you've got a Vocal Liga leader in DK Shivkumar and a number of other local leaders like MB Patil and others who have their own appeal in different regions. So the Congress, as you rightly said, will hope to localize it and play caste arithmetic. And then you've got the JDS. Now, is the JDS a party of the Gowdas? They wouldn't have won 37 seats last time as just a party of the Gowdas. They are a party which tries to appeal to a strong regional sentiment, sub-regional, mainly in southern Karnataka. Now, I think the BJP's best bet, ironically, Preeti, is for Kumaraswamy and the JDS to repeat what they did last time, win 37 seats. That makes it a potential hung assembly. And Karnataka, fascinatingly, is the one state where of the last 5 elections, 3 of them have thrown up hung assemblies. So there aren't too many. Since 2004. You look at 2004, you look at 2008, and you look at 2018. All of 3 threw up hung assemblies. Right. So you've got a state which is very competitive, partly because Karnataka is a mirror cracked. You can move from north to south Karnataka and the politics changes dramatically. So it will be fascinating to see how those local factors play out vis-a-vis this national narrative of Rahul Gandhi versus Narendra Modi. Well,
you know, you're bang on. You threw some numbers there, and for somebody who, you know, loves numbers and has an elephant's memory, is our national affairs editor, Rahul Srivastav, who's joining us live. Rahul, 2004, hung assembly where Karnataka was concerned. The JDS would definitely be wanting to expect that, be the kingmaker, or through it be the king as well. They've done it before. But since 1985, it's also a state which has never quite repeated the same government.
Yeah, repeated a majority. Now, this is what Mr. Shastri was saying in the afternoon. And I think what we should, you have a lot of templates which are very good. There is one which I have a slight doubt about. This is one election where the BJP will have to fight even as a regional party, even with the state level, because this is one state where it is not totally dependent on the BJP factor or the Modi factor. There is a Yadurappa factor, and that Yadurappa makes the election as local for the BJP as anybody else, as the Congress. I think it's an amazing election. See, very rarely it happens that the election dates are announced and you've got one senior leader of one party throwing videos of him throwing currency notes from a van, and you've got another leader who says that I'll contest 2 seats, and the trading of charges begins instantly. It's a critical election for the BJP because Karnataka is toehold into South, the only state which tells BJP or tells everybody that BJP is perhaps a pan-Indian party, even in South India. The second element for the BJP, all its strengths for the last few years in Karnataka and other states, be it Yadurappa, the Lingayat vote, good governance, corruption, and strong anti-corruption image, all those stands are going to get tested because that's where the BJP seems weak today. For the Congress and the opposition, what an election. First big state of 2023, ahead of 2024. There is so much of chatter about opposition coming together. So the Congress has to prove it can take smaller parties with itself And smaller parties have to show that they can actually coexist with Congress and
Right.
perhaps create an ecosystem in which BJP can be defeated.
Well, I want to bring in Rajiv Gowda because you spoke about the Congress. Because Rajiv, away from every other election, would you reckon, this is your moment of reckoning? Because A, you're fighting this big national battle, which has put the spotlight back on Rahul Gandhi in a way that many say that it could turn things in his favor or against him. Like he's got this huge political opportunity. It's how he actually uses it. On the other hand, it's backed by an election where many also suggest you're in pole position. So this is a moment which you could really bank on.
Absolutely. Actually, this is the semi-final to watch out for before 2024. And the circumstances, one, the fact that we have tremendous momentum on the ground in Karnataka, but the kind of anti-democratic moves of the central government targeting Rahul Gandhi, etc. This gives us an opportunity to go to the people and to get the people of Karnataka to respond resoundingly to, express their deep disgust, both at the state government's corruption, but also at the way the Prime Minister and his team are misusing institutions, targeting opposition leaders, and really creating a massive blow to India's democracy. So this is an opportunity for us
Mr. Gowda, it is a great opportunity, many would suggest, but it is an opportunity that many of us, especially, poll pundits who followed you through the course where the Congress is, have seen you fetter it away. So which way you go is going to be keenly watched. I'd bring in Malavika Avinash, but before Ms. Avinash, because we don't want to make it into a political face-off of sorts, I want to bring in Mr. Shastri and maybe reflect on the Congress right now, Mr. Shastri, because the Congress has a huge opportunity, but let's look at it this way. If the Congress wants to or needs to regionalize this election, make it local, hyper-local about local regional issues, a little contradictory that today the press conference started with Rahul's first mega Yatra from Kollar, the same place where in 2019 he made what is now being alleged as a defamatory speech. So are we going to make this about Rahul Gandhi, make it national? Or are we going to not make it about Rahul Gandhi and play the hyper-local regional narrative?
Preeti, I would start off with a comment you made about your colleague who said for the Congress it is the regional issue. While there is truth in that, I would say it does not cover the entire picture. Rajiv would endorse my point that in the past history of Karnataka, Congress has had several opportunities, but they have had the knack to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. And that's something they need to be very, very, very careful of this time if they need to go forward. They are focusing on local issues, and I think Rahul Gandhi's disqualification gave them an opportunity to pan in the national canvas. But I think strategically, the Congress is looking at local issues simply because the BJP wants to focus on national issues and its national leadership. And therefore, it makes sense for the Congress to focus on the fact that there is a government of the BJP in the state, and maybe it's a good idea to focus on the state. In the case of the BJP, their well-known double-engine government is very much part of their agenda. But the point is, the double engine seems to be one engine leading the other engine, because the other engine is only following the direction of the first engine. As I said, I go back to the point I mentioned. The Congress has this unique knack of snatching defeat from the jaws of victory because of their own actions, because of their own infighting, because of their own contradictions.
But Mr. Shastri,
at least
as a psychologist, you're saying that the Congress is in pole position.
When the candidates are decided.
You're at least saying the Congress less than 40 days or 45 days, you're saying that the Congress is in pole position. I'm going to come right back to it, but I want to bring in Malavika Avinash into this conversation. And Malavika Avinash, usually before every election, and as the poll bugle is sounded, what we hear is that, and which you leverage, is that the Congress or whatever your opposition party is, which let's say in Gujarat the last time around, or even the 3 northeastern states, see a huge onslaught of Congress leaders jumping ship to the BJP. It's the other way around, which makes many suggest, are you on the back foot? Because today itself, Mr. Bommai has alleged poaching by the Congress. If the Congress was losing, why would your party leaders want to join the Congress 45 days before elections?
If the Congress was winning on its own, why would they be poaching members from the BJP? I ask you that right back. Therefore, we are going to continue with the pro-incumbency run of the BJP that you've seen in Uttar Pradesh as well as Gujarat. And Karnataka, both the government in the state as well as the national government has done enough for the people of Karnataka to seek a mandate all over again. And we do hope that this time it's a full mandate for the BJP so that, we get to begin from where we are leaving off today.
Okay, I want to bring in Mr. Kumar and then we'll come back to Rajdeep Sardesai. Mr. Kumar, psephology-wise, if you're sitting here and you're looking at the way Karnataka's panned out right now, would you say the Congress is in pole position or do you say it's dead heat right now?
I think there's a close contest in Karnataka. I have no doubt about that. If you look at the last 4 assembly elections, except one election when BJP didn't perform well, in most of the elections, the vote share difference between Congress and BJP has been very, very close. But the way government has performed during last 5 years, there has been allegations of corruptions, etc. So BJP seems to be a little on the back foot. I think Congress, when the campaign starts, Congress would mount a campaign against BJP on the charges of corruption. So BJP seems to be a little back foot if I look at the way government has performed during last 5 years. But still, I say back foot, but again, what gives BJP a slight edge in my opinion over others is the divided opposition. Look at, earlier we had witnessed 3-cornered contest in Karnataka. Now this time this is going to be a 4-cornered contest. Congress, JDS and Aam Aadmi Party is also contesting. Aam Aadmi Party has made it clear that they are going to contest all 224 assembly elections.
But Mr. Kumar, isn't that just a token fight for the Aam Aadmi Party? The sheer fact they need to contest it because they build a unit there.
For BJP by default. So it is a close contest. Congress is in a close contest, but I won't say that Congress is in such a dominant position that they can win hands down this election in Karnataka.
All right, okay. But there's a larger question. The Aam Aadmi Party fighting 224 seats. Well, the Aam Aadmi Party at one point of time had invested a lot of leadership as well as money into trying and creating a unit. Fought local body elections, saw limited success and thought that they could go for the big haul where Karnataka was concerned. But off late, it does seem that the Aam Aadmi Party has stepped back and this is going to be a token fight for them. They can't not fight because you have a unit. What does the unit do? But will they fight like they fought in Gujarat? That's the big question. It doesn't seem so. Because even now, over the next 10 days, you have an Arvind Kejriwal who would practically be going to other states which are going into elections later this year than to Karnataka. So maybe a micro picture of that. But, it's interesting because when we were young, we used to play these trump cards games and the biggest stars we used to throw. So let's just do that where the BJP is concerned. 3 big names which the BJP is going to be fighting under. The BJP, instead of JP Nadda, that had to be the Prime Minister Modi because they're going to nationalize this election. And Rajdeep smiling because, there's a lot which is said at the back that every election that the BJP looks to lose, the picture changes from Prime Minister Modi to Mr. JP Nadda. But we don't know if the BJP is losing here. Mr. Sanjay Kumar gave an edge to the BJP. So for the BJP, it is Prime Minister Modi, Mr. Nadda, and you have Bombay, and you have Mr. Yediyurappa. Let's get the Congress trump cards in.
No, but why is Mr. Modi not there? Why have you not put Mr. Modi there?
Yes, Mr. Modi has to be there. Mr. Modi has to be there. Okay. But let's bring in the Congress. Let's bring in the Congress there. Now, the Congress also has 3 trump cards. You have Siddaramaiah, you have DK Shivakumar, and you have, all right, you have the Congress president, Mr. Khadge. But this should have also been Rahul Gandhi because they are using Rahul Gandhi. It's not that they're not using him, but how much will they use him? But there are the others in the lot as well. Of course, the third corner, JDS, you have both the father and the son. And the others in the form of Arvind Kejriwal. You have even the AIMIM, which is going to be vying for votes. You have the Eknath Shinde Shiv Sena, which is now the real Shiv Sena, which will be trying to fight for the Marathi votes up north. Then you have, of course, Uddhav Thackeray, who trying to be doing the same. Rajdeep, what do you make of it? It's interesting because the BJP's card deck, the biggest card is the Prime Minister.
Absolutely, and I would like to know why you didn't include him. Was that deliberate or otherwise? It seems that whenever the BJP is facing a tough battle, we make sure that Mr. Modi's face is not there and that of Mr. Nadda. But of those 3 faces, the only one who really matters is Mr. Yediyurappa. And I think there is a difference between the Yediyurappa 10 years ago and the Yediyurappa today. Let's be honest. Here was someone who was made Chief Minister, came back in 2019, was removed in 2021. And now the BJP has virtually gone back to him. In that speech that the Prime Minister gave in Shimoga, he didn't mention Mr. Bommai was full of praise for Mr. Yediyurappa. Mr. Yediyurappa is a rare leader in the BJP for whom the Margdarshak Mandal doesn't operate. He's 78 and counting, and the reason that they had to go back to him is clearly they don't have a Lingayat leader of substance. My belief is, why should Mr. Yediyurappa, when he knows he's not going to be made Chief Minister, work as hard as he did a decade ago? And without Mr. Yediyurappa, I really don't see how the BJP can hold on to the Lingayat vote, without which it cannot even become the single largest party. Please appreciate, the BJP has never won a majority in Karnataka. It was not a natural BJP state. So the BJP has a tough ride. Plus, and a final point here, if you look at anti-incumbency over the years, in the last 20 years, whichever government has been in power has reduced in numbers in the election that follows. And look at the manner in the number of people who are now switching from the BJP to the Congress. Karnataka is the ultimate weather vane state. I have some fascinating figures. More than half the ministers in the state cabinet have done multiple features.
Will you hold on to this? Will you hold on? We're going to a break. I want to bring in Malvika and Avinash, and you give us these figures because we're going to be talking about the issues like corruption, civic issues of the other side of the break.
None of them matter. In Karnataka, caste matters. In Karnataka, anti-incumbency matters. Of every 6 MLAs in Karnataka, they were elected in
Malvika, Avinash, I'm going to take you very quickly because we were talking about the BJP trump cards, and Rajdeep holds that every time that the BJP could be on the cusp of losing an election, the picture changes from Mr. Modi to Mr. Nadda, like it happened in Himachal. Why Gujarat you had Mr. Modi?
Malvika, Avinash, your producer must take responsibility. Why does your producer not show Mr. Modi?
But can I...
No.
He's our producer, Rajdeep.
May I come in?
Okay, I want to bring in Malvika Avinash on this. Malvika Avinash, the question is, if the BJP is looking at a big win, it's Modi who's projected as the big face. If the BJP is looking at being an iffy and a tough contest, it's Mr. Nadda.
I don't see the reason for the slip. No, I don't see a reason for this slip, and if they have done so, perhaps they have missed out on Rahul Gandhi also. I do not find it funny at all. And the Prime Minister of India is indeed the leader of the BJP and has made us very proud and has won several elections for us. And therefore, what is wrong if we do project him as our face of the elections? So I do not see what is so amusing about it. I don't find anything funny there.
You got it wrong. Our channel
take objection to the manner in which you are putting forth these images, because they are all your choice. Have you asked me who are the ones that we want to project? I cannot hear Mr. Sardesai. However, have you asked me before doing what you have? So I do not think that it's right on your part to even,
All right.
take the
We're going to go into a quick break and we're going to come right back with the latest. Stay with us.
ईडी, सीबीआई, इनकम टैक्स जैसी एजेंसियों का दुरुपयोग हो रहा है और लगातार विपक्ष के नेताओं को इस पर निशाना बनाया जा रहा है। इस पर आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
ये सारी एजेंसियां, कोई एजेंसी कोर्ट के ऊपर नहीं है। किसी भी नोटिस को भी आप कोर्ट में चैलेंज कर सकते हैं, 1, किसी भी एफआईआर को कोर्ट में चैलेंज कर सकते हैं, 2, और किसी भी चार्जशीट को भी कोर्ट में चैलेंज कर रहे हैं, 3। भाई कोर्ट में जाने की जगह यहां पर हो हल्ला कर क्या होगा? और बहुत हमारी पार्टी में तो कम है, उनकी पार्टी में ढेर सारे अच्छे वकील हैं।
From Dhanushkodi's old harbour to Tallaimanar to Archal Munai, a 62-kilometer swim sounds quite daunting and adventurous. So what was it like for you?
Incredible experience. It was a lot of excitement. It was a lot of enthusiasm, fear, anxiety, stress. But yeah, it's overcoming all that and finishing what I set out to do is one of the most important things. It's a beautiful, beautiful place, considering the Ram Setu is a very important religious sentiment to us Indians. Setting out and being able to swim across that successfully, I think is not only for me, it's showing that India is a very, very, very powerful state, whether it be in faith or whether it be in support. Swimming is really not that easy. It's so much more different than any other normal sport. And training for that takes about 3-4 months of rigorous training. There's a lot of things that go into it, your diet, your physical fitness, your mental fitness is very, very important. So for this particular swim, it was more mind over the body. You can keep pushing as much as you can, but the mind needs to also be able to push with your physical capacity.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com. Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
The all-new Red Dark Edition by Tata Motors.
Welcome back. One thing that is said very often on the basis of which, the metrics on which the Karnataka election is calculated, that is the caste metrics. And very few poll pundits would say otherwise. This time around as well, will caste be the main key factor as we put out all the graphics in terms of permutations, combinations where caste calculus in Karnataka is concerned. If you look at it, 20% Dalits, 17% Lingayat, 11% Vokaligas. We're going to bring all those figures out for you as well. But if you look at the OBC, here it says 16%, but Kurubas, all you see that 7%, and the others, if they all come in, it comes to about 28 to 30%. So OBC is about 30%. It's a state where caste is the calling card. I want to cut across right now immediately to our panelists back. Rahul Srivastava, our National Affairs Editor with us. Rajdeep Sardesai, Consulting Editor in the studio with me. Saeed Aslam, Spokesperson JDS joining us. I have Sanjay Kumar, Co-Director, Lokniti. I have Mr. Sandeep Shastri, National Coordinator, Lokniti Network. Mr. Rajiv Gowda, former MP, Spokesperson, Congress. Malvika Avinash, Spokesperson, Bharatiya Janata Party. And Mr. Gowda, I want to come to you on this because if you look at the OBC factor, which comes to about 28 and 30%, if the BJP now goes all out to blast what they are doing it on a national scale, that Rahul Gandhi has insulted the OBCs in the country. It might be a Modi in Gujarat where the Modi OBC is concerned, but they are going to nationalize it. Do you think it's going to be a factor in Karnataka at all?
BJP is insulting the intelligence of the OBCs. They know exactly what Mr. Rahul Gandhi said. They know the caste of the other two Modis, the fugitives, Lalit and Neerav, both are Banyas from and not OBCs. That's not the issue. The issue is the BJP is clutching at straws. They are continuing to cook up all kinds of stories. They came up with some other, historic fiction in terms of our Vokaliga community. So basically, this OBC push, this narrative is not going to fly. And what you're going to see is actually a disgusted reaction from those communities who are very, very strongly with our leader, Sri Siddaramaiah. The other thing to point out is that the Lingayats were with the BJP as long as Yediyurappa was the dominant mass leader. But now they've seen Yediyurappa being sidelined. They've heard talks that immediately after the election, it will not be a Lingayat, but actually B.L. Santosh or some other Brahmin leader, Prahlad Joshi. So basically, the Lingayats are also losing faith in the party that they helped put in power
Mr. Gowda, I want to bring in Malvika Avinash, but I'll ask you a question again. It usually depends on which Congress spokesperson you're speaking to from Karnataka because their leader varies from Siddaramaiah to D.K. Sivakumar. You said your leader is Siddaramaiah. So your leader is not D.K. Sivakumar.
No, our leader is Siddaramaiah, our leader is Shiv Kumar. I do not know why the media makes such a noise about this. Have you ever heard any of these leaders speak against one another in public? Have you ever seen them not project a united front? Please drop this nonsense about divisive politics. Siddaramaiah is our CLP leader, Shiv Kumar is our PCC president. Both are our leaders. National president is Mr. Kharge.
All right.
We have many others as well.
Mr. Gowda, if this
our leader in the Congress.
If this organized campaign goes out, because yes, you're right, at least for now, which many had expected, an all-out, full-blown internal war, Rahul Srivastava, within the Congress, we haven't quite seen that. They've actually debunked a lot of theories which seem to suggest that, the Congress would be a divided house. They're actually working a lot better. Their first list is out, the second is out any time now. So they've at least got, till now, the organization going well. Rahul, you're on mute.
Then, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
See, I think few things have contributed to that. One, Congress sent Randeep Surjewala early, and he could bring people together, though sending two tall leaders in two different directions. Perhaps that was also not a bad idea, that eventually when the Yatras by Siddaramaiah and D.K. Shivkumar, the Prajadhwani Yatra, I think Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Jodo Yatra and that long stint in Karnataka was helpful because it gave the cadre that belief that they can actually, if they come together, if these two leaders come together, there can be a sense of purpose, and the Congress can hope of coming back to power in Karnataka. The BJP was dithering at that time. And if you see, when we talk about that poaching element, it is not poaching happening, Preeti. It is leaders for the BJP suddenly feel that they may not get a ticket in the BJP. That's why they are going to the Congress, or perhaps Congress seems to be a very positive option right now. I think one fact which is very important to be looked at is that Karnataka is one state where there is a strong third player between Congress and the BJP, the JDS. The JDS, remember, was a strong enough party that it was the competitor to the Congress at one time. Mr. Siddaramaiah comes from the JDS, and the JDS had a prime minister. And given that scenario, now you're going to have a fourth player with the Aam Aadmi Party pitching in. Which way the vote is going to turn, Preeti, because if you see last election, BJP gained 64 seats, but gained 16.3% vote. Whereas the Congress lost 42 seats, it gained 1.4% votes, while the JDS took away 18.3% votes. That means the JDS still has a lot of play. The Congress vote got divided, spread all over the state, but the JD created a dent. Division of opposition votes, I think, apart from the caste factor, is going to be the most critical.
You know, Sanjay Kumar, I want to bring you in because there seems to be a constant chatter of a Aam Aadmi Party contesting 224 seats. Does it really matter? Do you see this as being any factor at all, or do you see this as plain token fight that Arvind Kejriwal has to indulge himself in because he's created a unit?
Preeti, you're right that Aam Aadmi Party is not contesting election seriously. That is what initial idea I'm getting. But still, look at a party which has performed so well in Punjab and Delhi and also reasonably well in Gujarat. When they put up 224 candidates in Karnataka, they have the party cadre, they have their worker there. So even if party manages to get, say, 3%, 4% vote, and I think party would be in a position to get these many votes. This would be damage to Congress because these would be anti-BJP votes. They may not be willing to vote for BJP. They want to vote out BJP. This may be anti-BJP vote. If Aam Aadmi Party was not contesting election, I think a very large proportion of these votes would have gone to Congress. This is hypothetical. I have no scientific basis at this moment to test that. But I think that is how Aam Aadmi Party, even if it is contesting in a small way, it's going to damage Congress prospect. At least it is denting the vote of the Congress. And that gives, again, I would say that goes to the advantage of BJP. That adds to the advantage of BJP. BJP otherwise is in a difficult situation.
You know, it's interesting because I just want to give our viewers a figure, and I'll bring in Mr. Shastri. In 2018, Aam Aadmi Party contested, if I'm not wrong, 29 seats. It lost deposit in all of those 29 seats in 2018. So they are, you know, they've expanded their canvas to 224. Mr. Shastri, yes, any vote that the Aam Aadmi Party gets, it's the vote of the Congress. That's quite established. But do you think it would be as damaging for the Congress as, say, Gujarat was?
I would concede the point which Sanjay ji is making, but I would add that while Aam Aadmi Party may be a distant third player, I'm not too sure that in a team
fourth player, Mr. Shastri, JDS is also there.
That's why I said distant fourth player. I didn't say third player. For this, I'm sorry if I said third. A distant fourth player.
The JDS spokesperson raised his finger immediately.
When you have a keen Congress versus BJP fight, I think the polarization of the anti-BJP vote in a significant way happens. I also, on this caste point, would make another issue, Preeti. While we talk about caste arithmetic, caste calculus, let us not forget political chemistry at the ground. Because what the two parties are trying is to create rainbow coalitions. The BJP is trying to retain its Lingayat vote, crack into the Vokaliga vote, win the OBC vote, seek the Dalit vote is what they are trying.
Okay.
The Congress, on the other hand, especially if you look at its state-level leadership, bringing in the Ahinda factor, which Siddaramaiah is well known for, along with the Vokaliga vote and a segment of the Lingayat vote. So they are both trying to create rainbow coalitions, and the political chemistry on the ground for this coalition, I think, is important. And Preeti, one final point, a point of clarification. I did not say even for a moment that the Congress is in pole position. I was only making the point that Congress seems to have a slight advantage at the present point of time. And I also made the point that the Congress has this great knack in the past in Karnataka of defeating itself and snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. So that was the point I was trying to make,
So
and
Congress
not
has an
that
edge, not in pole
Congress in any
position,
way
as
is
per
miles
you.
and meters
Mr.
ahead.
Kumar gives that edge to the BJP. I'm going to take in final comments. Also going to go across to our JDS spokesperson who's joined us a bit late, Rajdeep. You know, for once, if you just look at the others who are in the fray, you know, so much talk of the Aam Aadmi Party. 2018, lost deposit on all 28 seats. Most of them were fought in Bangalore, if I'm not wrong. 18 in Bangalore, 11 outside. Did not make a mark. Do you think it'll come down to anything? What about both the Shiv Sena factions, which will be looking at garnering some vote up north?
You know, let's be honest, even in Belgaum, the Maharashtrian Ekikaran Samiti, which used to win a couple of seats, doesn't win a seat anymore. The Aam Aadmi Party will look at Bangalore, 26 seats on offer in Bangalore city, and perhaps in a couple of them will perhaps hope to make an impact. But I don't think that's really, these are any of the factors. This factor is whose caste arithmetic works better. The political chemistry that Dr. Shastri speaks about is all very well. There are lots of strong individual candidates. Look at the number of candidates in Karnataka who switch sides and still win. Whether they contest on a BJP ticket, JDS ticket, Congress ticket, I don't think there's any other state which has seen as much of these floating population win whichever party they contest. It all depends on the caste arithmetic. Whether the Ahinda factor plus Vocaliga plus Christians will give the Congress the edge, whether the BJP can consolidate the Lingayats. There have been reservations made for tribals and Dalits. Now you've had 4% being given to Vocaligas and Lingayats. Will the BJP benefit from that? Or will the JDS be able to create Vocaliga plus in southern Karnataka? It's as simple as, I mean, it's not as simple, but that's what it is. Plus, there is no other state where I see such sharp inter-regional disparities. Travel from north to south, and the political landscape changes. North Karnataka, the JDS is virtually absent, but it's extremely, it's not just 16-18% vote, but it's a concentrated vote, which is in southern Karnataka, which is why it gets seats. That's why predicting a Karnataka election is very, very difficult. Simple arithmetic, 25 seats guaranteed to JDS, 80 seats guaranteed to the Congress, 75 seats guaranteed to the BJP. 45 seats will decide Karnataka. If the Congress gets a majority of those seats, they get the majority. If the BJP gets, it's a hung assembly. I see either a hung assembly or a Congress win.
So Rajiv already sees either a hung assembly or a Congress government, but Syed Aslam from the JDS, you'd be hoping it's a hung assembly, because if it's a hung assembly, then the JDS becomes the kingmaker, and in the past have been king through being the kingmaker. You're on, unmute yourself. Mr. Aslam, unmute yourself.
Yes. So Preeti, I partly agree with Rajdeep sir. However, JDS is going to be the major regional emerging force. There's a clear undercurrent. We have gone through the Pancharatna Yatra, which has happened across the length and breadth of Karnataka. We have seen the sentiment of the people all across Karnataka. We have seen JDS as the strongest emerging force. We are contesting the elections on basis of development and social welfare. We are fighting these elections on issues like education, health, agriculture, unlike the BJP who are reeling under the pressure of corruption charges. Unlike the BJP who want to communalize and polarize the majority, they want to do the majority and polarization. And also look at the Congress, the two national parties. The Congress also is still undecisive about their leader. But we as JDS, the biggest regional party and the largest regional party in the Karnataka state, we are not a third party. We are going to be the #1 party. People of Karnataka are with us. We understand the sentiment of the people of Karnataka.
Okay, like Malavika, Avinash, it's been one yatra versus the other yatra, but when it comes down to it, it's not going to be the yatra, it's not going to be the corruption, it's taint, it's not even going to be 40% sarkar or even maybe communal politics. It will come down to caste calculations and permutations. Do you see that you've got the caste calculations right? By bringing in Yediyurappa with what you did. Yes, go ahead, ma'am.
No. To begin with, there were some very presumptuous comments that Dr. Rajiv Gowda made, and he spoke of Siddaramaiah being their leader. Let me remind him that Siddaramaiah stands for Ahinda, where Mr. Gowda himself doesn't feature. It's the votes of the minorities, the OBCs and the Dalits, and the Gowdas don't belong to any of those castes. So I found it rather presumptuous that he should have said so. However, sir, I did not intervene when you spoke. As for the JDS is making loud charges about corruption and all of that. If it were, their journey was based on development, then I'd like to ask him to show me what development they have achieved. Every time they came to power or Mr. Kumaraswamy became the chief minister, he could hardly retain his seat. It's a family party and
unless you
doesn't
don't
go
pull us
beyond
down
the
with your horse trading, we will certainly continue to finish.
So you came in late into the debate, let her finish. Make your point,
As
Ms.
for the
Avinash.
BJP, we are carrying the narrative of development both in the center and the state. We have enough in terms of performance to establish to the voters that we deserve a pro-incumbency vote and we deserve to return to power.
Ms. Avinash, one quick question I'd like to ask you and Mr. Gowda. Question is, who is your chief ministerial candidate? Is it Mr. Bommai? Because half your own party unit doesn't seem to think it's Mr. Bommai, but Mr. Bommai thinks it's Mr. Bommai. Ms. Avinash, that's for you. Okay, we seem to have lost her. But, okay, well, apt time to lose Ms. Malvika Avinash, but I'd want to bring in Mr. Gowda into this conversation. Mr. Gowda, you tell us, who is your chief ministerial candidate? Your leader, Siddaramaiah, or the other leader, Mr. D.K. Sivakumar?
Or Mr. Kharge, there is a third angle.
Ma'am, you heard me now. I want to ask you, is it Mr. Bommai, your chief ministerial candidate?
No, he's not. We haven't announced a chief ministerial candidate.
He seems to
He's the
think
poll campaign chief.
He's announced himself as your chief ministerial candidate.
Well, every politician wishes to be chief minister. Doesn't Mr. Gowda? Please ask him.
So there's no... Okay, Mr. Gowda, I want to bring you in. So which one is it? Is it D.K. Sivakumar or is it Mr. Siddaramaiah?
Congress has no shortage of chief ministerial options. Our aim is to give good governance to Karnataka. This election is not only about caste, the way you guys obsess about it. If you saw my reaction when I say our leader, I'm not basing this on my caste or someone else's caste.
Okay.
It is the Congress and the kind of leadership that they offer, which goes beyond caste, beyond religion, and all these.
Mr. Gowda, sadly, as much as one would appreciate, those are speeches that are reserved for the Rajya Sabha as an MP, not quite when it comes down to the hot summer Deccan election that we are looking at. I think everyone here knows better, and sadly so, but I appreciate, we appreciate the thought behind it. But I need to close the show. Thank you. Thank you.
Karnataka is the most beautiful state in the country with some of the most ugly politics that is played out. That's the tragedy of Karnataka.
On that note, we're going to leave it there and trust us to get you the best of the beautiful state of Karnataka in terms of all the electioneering, the campaign, and of course the surround sound. The surround sound usually so much better and prettier than the actual politics. But that's what makes an election, viewers. And we're going to get you the front row seats to that. The best action right here. Thank you for joining us. Up next is my colleague Gaurav Sawant.
Gear up to see Lady Gaga as an actor on screen once again. The singer was spotted rocking a Harley Quinn outfit as she's filming for the upcoming sequel to Joker. The pop star was seen in full costume and makeup while filming in New York City. In the photos, Lady Gaga is seen surrounded by a large crowd as she descends the court building with the police officers by her side. She's also seen rocking a red coat, a white blouse and a black skirt as onlookers come out in support with signboards that read "Free Joker" and "Joker Marry Me." The Oscar winner, who is all set to play an ardent admirer of the Batman villain, was seen flaunting her blonde hair, which was pulled back into a half ponytail with her dark roots clearly showing. She styled to appear as if she wasn't wearing any makeup. Coming to her ensemble, she was seen donning a black foxfire jacket, black stockings, and a printed dress. Filmmaker Todd Phillips also shared a picture of Phoenix's Joker coming face-to-face with Gaga's character. She's even holding his face, implying an intense moment between the two. For the unversed, the pop star and actress confirmed her playing a role in the Joker sequel in August 2022. She posted a teaser clip on her Instagram featuring Phoenix and Gaga's silhouette dancing together. The Joker sequel will also feature Catherine Keener, Brendan Gleeson, and Zazie Beetz, and is all set to schedule to release in theatres on October 4th, 2024. Entertainment Bureau, India Today.
Most important would be to go and consult a dermatologist, because this is not something you can treat on your own. However, what is the basic step and why does it happen? So heat rash happens because of the trapping of the sweat gland or sweat duct, and there is sweat under the skin. So you see it can be of varied types. It can be red color, or it can be crystal-like, or it can be pustular. So these are the various types of heat rash which can be seen depending upon the level of the sweat duct which is involved. So most important steps which we can do during summers is to wear loose clothing. Don't wear very tight clothing, because that can cause friction, as well as it can lead to mechanical damage because of rubbing, and so the skin barrier could be disrupted. So make sure that your barrier is intact, and you can use moisturizer which will act like a lubricating agent, so it will protect your skin.
Tell us about heat burns and how to avoid them.
You have to use something to negate the effects of your direct exposure to sun, like hat you can use goggles, so that eye irritation will not happen. You can cover your arms and your body parts with a soft cotton clothes, so that you will not get sunburns.
Why do I keep getting headaches in summers? Is it a sign of dehydration?
One of the symptoms of dehydration is lightheadedness and mild headache. Of course, be very clear in your head that this is not the basic sign of dehydration. So there are a lot of headaches which happen in summers, especially those who are prone to migraine. Summers and extreme heat precipitates the headache, and therefore dehydration of course can give you lightheadedness and some headache, but other causes of headache must also be considered.
Presented by RP Sanjeev Goenka Group, Growing Legacies. Co-presented by Century Ply, आग से बचाए. Co-presented by Macho Hind, बड़े आराम से. Co-powered by Aditya Birla Sun Life Insurance, इससे जरूरी कुछ भी नहीं.
Hello and a very warm welcome. You're watching the news track. I'm Gaurav Sawant. Where is that fugitive Khalistan supporter Amritpal Singh? A new video surfaced a short while back. The man remains on the run, but he's still in hiding. Punjab police have been on a wild goose chase for the past 11 days and counting. The question remains, where is Amritpal? That's our top focus on the news track.
11 days on. Surrender, suspense deepens. Running across 3 states. Fugitive dares from hiding. Punjab cops on wild goose chase. Where is Amritpal? Big focus on News Track.
Punjab police is actually seen as one of the most battle-hardened forces. This is a force that's actually dealt with and defeated Pakistan state-sponsored terror in Punjab. Because the Khalistanis had tried it earlier, they failed. But why is Amritpal for the past 11 days succeeding in making Punjab police look so inefficient? He surfaces on CCTV cameras, one day in Punjab, the next day in Haryana, the third day in Delhi. We are told that this video was recorded in Lakhimpur Kheri in Uttar Pradesh and was uploaded from the United Kingdom. So is this a wider international conspiracy, and why is it with the best systems India is failing? We'll talk about this in greater detail, but first, as always, the headlines. Fugitive Amritpal Singh releases a video from his hideout, plays victim, calls for mobilization of the Sikh community. State of war, Karnataka officially kicks off. Single-phase election to be held on the 10th of May. Results on the 13th of May. Politics escalates over video of Karnataka Congress chief D.K. Shivakumar showering wads of cash from a campaign bus. BJP alleges cash was thrown at voters. Shivakumar says the money was for artists. Former Congress MP from Wayanad, Rahul Gandhi, to lead the Congress party's Satyamev Jayate Yatra from Kolar, the same place where he made the Chor Modi comment in 2019. Big boost to India's Project Cheetah. Namibian cheetah that was translocated last year gives birth to 4 cubs at MP's Kuno National Park. He's been on the run for the past 11 days. He's travelled through multiple states. Now, fugitive Amritpal Singh is believed to be back in Punjab. The Punjab police, hot on its heels. Sources say that he just escaped in a couple of places. The police reached his vehicle. They've confiscated some vehicles. They've arrested 8 people who were very close to him, slapped the National Security Act on them. They still haven't been able to reach Amritpal Singh. In the past 11 days, he stayed with 11 different people in 11 different locations. Now, the Punjab police say they've launched a door-to-door search operation. The big question remains, is someone in the government Whether it's the state or elsewhere, is someone shielding him? Is someone helping him? Why is it that the Punjab police look so inefficient even after 11 days?
Amritpal Singh, the Waris Punjab Day chief who was at the centre of a manhunt by police of 8 states, turned out to be hiding in Punjab. After a daring 12-day run from multiple teams of police, Amritpal escaped the police dragnet by jumping from his getaway car and slipping into the dark. In Punjab's Hoshiarpur, 2 people who were driving in an Isuzu behind the Innova SUV which was being used by Amritpal and aide Papalpreet were caught. After the interrogation, the duo revealed that both the fugitives were indeed with them.
Pro-Khalistani leader Amritpal Singh and his close aide Papalpreet Singh are on the run. This is Marnaiya village in Hoshiarpur district, located just 7 kilometers from the district headquarters. There was an alert that Amritpal Singh and Papalpreet Singh could be hiding in this village. In fact, police launched a massive search operation but took away the vehicle which was being used by 2 unidentified persons who could be hiding in this village.
As per sources, late on Tuesday night, Amritpal was going to Jalandhar for an interview with an international news channel ahead of his planned surrender. As the Punjab Police Intelligence Unit got a tip-off, its personnel started chasing Amritpal and Papalpreet. And after being stopped at the Hoshiarpur police checkpost, Amritpal fled, leaving behind the car, vanishing into the darkness. Punjab police cordoned off the entire area and house-to-house searches were conducted, but it all turned futile. The Waris Punjab Day chief has been playing hide-and-seek with the police since escaping from his hometown, Jallupur Kheda. He was then spotted in multiple occasions across Punjab. After escaping past toll plazas and using bikes and motor carts to escape Punjab police, hot on his trail. He had even given a slip to Punjab police officials, chasing him on an SUV by slipping out of his car into a narrow lane. After getting help of a woman friend in Haryana, Amritpal was last seen in Delhi's Madhu Vihar, once again helped by his women friends. In Delhi, he sported a changed look with cropped hair and also shed his trademark turban. Amid speculations that he was on the verge of crossing over to Nepal, the fugitive was spotted in UP's Lakhimpur Khedi. With the intensifying manhunt, Amritpal has now been finally traced to Punjab. In these 12 days, the fugitive may have covered over 1,100 kilometers, changed multiple vehicles, used public transport buses, altered his looks completely, and went past multiple cities, virtually unchallenged. The Punjab police failing to catch him each time. With Kamaljeet Sandhu, Manjeet Sehgal, and Satyendra Chauhan, Bureau Report, India Today.
And let me now get you details of this video that's been released by Amritpal Singh. Now he's somewhere in hiding. Apparently, this video was filmed somewhere in Uttar Pradesh and it's been suspected it's been filmed at Lakhimpur Kheri. This video has been released first from Lakhimpur Kheri, apparently sent to the United Kingdom and released on social media platforms from handles not just in UK but also in Canada and in the Middle East, including in Dubai. This appears to be a very clear attempt to further that Khalistan propaganda from outside India. We are not bringing you details of what has been said in this video. We will analyze it, but India Today will not give voice or platform to fugitives from law like Amritpal Singh. But I want to quickly bring in India Today's Manjeet Sehgal, who joins us live from Amritsar. Also with me is our senior editor, Harmeet Shah Singh. Few people track these developments as closely as Harmeet. But Manjeet, explain to our viewers why is it that the Punjab police, seen as one, very efficient, very battle-hardened, great experience, looking so incompetent, so inefficient that they haven't been able to get to this man in the past 11 days despite human intelligence, signal intelligence, electronic intelligence. Everything's failing.
Yes, indeed, Gaurav. During the past 12 days, the Punjab police has been claiming that it is nearing and it will soon arrest Amritpal Singh, who was not only changing the places but also changing his garbs and his outlook from various. He would release the pictures, the selfies, but Punjab police failed to arrest him. Remember, there is a technology by using which one can reach out to the persons who are posting these pictures and who are releasing and who clicked these pictures, who shared these pictures on social media. But Punjab police failed here as well. Even today, Gaurav itself, Punjab police officials in an affidavit told the Punjab and Haryana High Court that Amritpal is still a fugitive. He's still beyond the reach of the Punjab police. But later in the evening, Amritpal Singh appears in a video and says that he's not afraid of Punjab police action as God is with him. Amritpal Singh also says, also appeals to the highest temporal Sikh authority, the Akal Takht, to call a Sarbat Khalsa meeting to discuss the issues pertaining to the Sikhs. Remember, Amritpal Singh, by saying this, in fact, not only is trying to play a victim card, but also is trying to garner some religious and political mileage. Remember, Amritpal Singh has been raising various issues which were separatist, which divided the community, particularly the Hindus and the Sikhs as well. But the Punjab police functioning in particular has been questioned as the police
absolutely.
officials.
Stay with me for a moment, Manjeet. We'll talk about this in greater detail, but I want to bring in Harmeet into this conversation. So, Harmeet, two things. One, he appears to be modeling himself on the lines of Jarnail Singh Bhindrawale. Is he Jarnail Singh Bhindrawale 2.0? The way he dresses up, the way he's reaching out, trying to make all these religious, commentary. Point two, he says Punjab police is not targeting him, but the Sikh community. Is he, by any account, a representative or a voice of the Sikh community?
Oh, that's rubbish. That's complete rubbish. That's a rhetoric. And so far as his comparison or his, self-comparison with the Jarnail Singh Bhindrawale is concerned, I think that's also out of place here. And I've said this before also, and I say it over and over again, that Bhindrawale came from a religious and political process. He became what he became in the 1980s, and there were many, and there's a background to Bhindrawale's life. He came from a religious, he had deep religious roots. He came from a seminary, and he headed a seminary, and then he was picked up by the likes of Sanjay Gandhi and Indira Gandhi and Gyani Zail Singh, not Indira Gandhi, but Sanjay Gandhi and Gyani Zail Singh primarily to break up the Akalis. So that is a brief background, and it's there in recorded history.
What about this chap? And what about Amritpal Singh? I mean, where did he suddenly appear from? Just a couple of months ago, and suddenly he's heading Waris Punjab Day. Apparently a truck driver. Does he have any religious background? Does he know the scriptures? Does he know the glorious history of our brave Sikhs? I mean, he appears to be some, if I may, some cheap Chinese copy.
Yes, I mean, if you read history books, and it's clearly mentioned that Bhindrawale was able to, cut down a tree, and his father is quoted in those books and recite passages from Guru Granth Sahib from his memory. That was his religious background. But he is a man who comes like an apparition. No one knows where he comes from. And before coming here, he had a fancy haircut. You don't even look like a Khalsa, and you claim to be a proponent of the dreamed of Khalistan idea. I mean, it's pretty intriguing here. Many in the Sikh community, believe me, Gaurav, see him with deep suspicion. To say that he represents the Sikh community, I think that's a complete rubbish. And if he is equating himself with the aspirations of the Sikh community, then I think he has lost the ground already.
Okay, but then it also remains a fact, and Manjeet, stay with me, Harmeet, stay with me. It remains a fact that there are some people, not just in Punjab, but other parts of our country, who are still shielding this man. Whether it was in Punjab, or in Haryana, or in Delhi, or in Uttar Pradesh. The images that you see are from different cities in our country. This Khalistan supporter, Amritpal Singh, he's continued to give the police a slip. The hunt has been on for 11 days and counting. How does he do it? Apparently, Amritpal Singh and his lackey, Papalpreet Singh, they've been using a network of women, friends, supporters, backers, or moles to remain on the run and continue to hide. We bring you this India Today exclusive report.
From Punjab to Haryana to Delhi. Even after being declared a fugitive and multi-state police crackdown, Amritpal managed to repeatedly change locations. But how? India Today investigated and unearthed his lady network, who he used as pawns for shelter. Sources have informed India Today that Amritpal and his sidekick Papalpreet are known to have many female friends. More than 10 of them are on the radar. Amritpal used their houses to take shelter, be it Patiala, Haryana, and even in Delhi. 3 women in the capital have been tracked down and being interrogated by the cops for helping Amritpal. In Haryana's Kurukshetra, where Amritpal was seen boarding a bus, the Khalistani fugitive had helped there too. This is Baljeet Kaur, a middle-aged woman living in Kurukshetra who has been arrested by cops for harboring Amritpal and his aide. She claims she had no idea who they were.
कौन लेकर आया था अमृतपाल? जो हमारे जानकार थे पपलप्रीत सिंह, जिनको मैं मतलब इंस्टाग्राम के माध्यम से जानती थी। अच्छा। हाँ जी। नहीं सर, बिल्कुल नहीं पहचान रही थी क्योंकि उन्होंने पग बांधी हुई थी और चश्मा लगाया हुआ था, मास्क पहना हुआ था। क्या बोला था अमृतपाल ने कि कहाँ जा रहा है वो? नहीं, उन्होंने सर इसके बारे में हमें कोई इन्फॉर्मेशन नहीं।
This is the elaborate femme fatale plot used by Amritpal Singh to evade cops for so long. And don't forget, besides these 10 odd women who helped him, his wife also actively helped him to get funds. With Manjeet Sehgal from Hoshiarpur, Bureau Report, India Today.
I once again want to cut across to India Today's Manjeet Sehgal, breaking this exclusive story first here on India Today. Manjeet, I want to understand from you, what more do we know about this network of ladies that Amritpal and Papalpreet are supposed to have stayed with on the run in the past 11 days? Every day, different city, different individual. Who manages this network? Who, according to the Punjab police, is actually helping Amritpal? What have they been able to learn so far?
Well, Gaurav, Amritpal's network is not limited to Punjab only, but it was also expanded to Punjab, the neighboring Rajasthan, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, besides the Uttar Pradesh as well. Amritpal's close aides like this Papalpreet Singh, what also known to many women, many men in other states, the women who supported these two thugs in Shahbad, Kurukshetra, was very well known to Papalpreet Singh from past 2 years. He has been staying with her. She was the person who managed the transport and other logistics to these two people. From Shahbad, these two men went to the New Delhi. They were seen riding a Haryana Roadways bus. They were seen in New Delhi, and suddenly there was an alert yesterday that their location has been traced to a village in Hoshiarpur. The police launched more than a 12-hour long search operation to arrest these people, but they managed to escape. The police recovered a vehicle but was still empty-handed. As far as Amritpal's network is concerned, that can also be estimated with the fact that he is shooting a video somewhere in Lakhimpur Kheri, as you said. This video is sent to his accomplices or the aides in foreign countries located in Canada, UK or US or Dubai, where he used to live earlier. Yes. Sources saying that he had come in contact with the ISI ISI's people in Dubai, where he stayed. From Dubai, he came to India. So this is his network. It is spending not only throughout the country, but also in foreign countries, overseas like Dubai, where
stay with me, Manjeet.
The ISI
and
people.
Let's expand the scope.
Well,
let's expand the scope of this discussion. And Harmeet, let me bring you in once again. There are two very important points that this man makes in that video that we've also accessed here at India Today. One, the political ramifications. He's comparing the situation now to the times of Bayant Singh. Now he's saying the atrocities, the NSA that's being slapped on people. Very carefully chosen words. What's his wider game plan and the impact of such a statement politically in Punjab?
Well, I heard his video and I don't think that even you need to pay attention to detail here. It's very clear that he was targeting Bhagwant Mann, the chief minister, and he accused him of challenging the authority of the Akal Takht. And he called for, he suggested that the Jathedar of the Akal Takht, the highest seat of the Sikh temporal authority, should call in Sarbat Khalsa. Now, Sarbat Khalsa literally translates into theocratic and religious confederate, and the tradition goes back to the invasions of
Ahmad Shah
Ahmad Shah Abdali, and even before Afghan invasions, when Sikhs would strategize and assemble as Sarbat Khalsa while they were fighting off the invaders. Now he goes back in time and tries to portray himself.
Let's first talk about the political aspect.
Yes.
I'll come to the religious aspect in just a moment. But tell me politically, you're saying he's targeting Bhagwant Mann.
Yes.
How does that benefit his cause? Because this would be damaging for the Aam Aadmi Party, that is being seen as someone who would be, they have the Sikh vote. What happens now?
Very smart question, Gaurav. I think this is the question of the day. How does it impact the Aam Aadmi Party government, which is which is just more than a year old? So, in my view, you see, if AAP came to power, it came to power on the back of both Hindu and Sikh votes. Okay. It's not that only Sikhs voted for AAP. Hindus of Punjab also voted for AAP and voted Aam Aadmi Party with overwhelming support. Now, fortunately enough, there is no division so far as there is no bitterness so far as Hindus and Sikhs on the ground in Punjab are concerned. That's saving grace. That said, I think politically the rise of Amritpal, the way the Aam Aadmi Party government handled the fiasco around him, I think it has damaged both the Hindu constituency, its Hindu constituency, as well as the Sikh constituency.
But let's take this on the other track now. Very important, the fact that he's referring to Sarbat Khalsa, which means the Sikh community should come together, the Sikh community should strategize. He's trying to give out that impression, and it's not just him. He's trying to say the Sikhs are being marginalized in India. Whereas when you look at the bigger picture, Sikhs are so well respected in our country, across the nation, and for centuries. But I want to understand from you. He's saying this. Khalistanis overseas are saying this. Pakistanis are saying this. This appears to be a much bigger design.
I think, the kind of politics he's playing is it comes out of the vacuum so far as the Sikh leadership is concerned in Punjab, because the Akali Dal has lost a considerable support, which is evident from the kind of votes and the kind of seats it won in the previous elections and elections before that. So one thing is a settled affair that he is exploiting that vacuum. But will he be able to exploit that vacuum? I'm not too
that
sure.
Would be very sad commentary.
So far as the Sikhs are concerned, Gaurav, let's understand one thing. There are Sikhs in Punjab. There are Sikhs outside Punjab, from Ambala to Amritsar. Sikhs live everywhere. I've been to a place like Pondicherry where there was, I think, one or two. That was a location there. Okay. One or two Sikhs were there. They had a beautiful Gurdwara there. Now Sikhs are everywhere. Sikhs are in Africa. Sikhs are in Europe. Sikhs are in Malaysia. So to portray himself as a representative of the Sikh community, I think it's a complete farce. It's not going to happen. And this idea of separatism, I see it as there is no strategy involved. It's just a slogan and a bogus slogan.
Unless there's a wider strategy overseas, whether it's Pakistan's ISI or expats or people living in Canada, but can they actually influence things? We'll be tracking that story very closely. Few people do that better than Harmeet, Manjeet and India Today's team. We'll get you more on that story. For the moment, Harmeet and Manjeet, many thanks for joining me. I now want to shift focus to the other big story, and that's the Congress party upping the ante against the centre, saying that democracy has been disqualified. So they say it's a democracy disqualified protest campaign. A day after Prime Minister Narendra Modi hit out at the Congress party and the opposition with his Bhrashtachari Bachao Andolan jibe at India's opposition. The Congress took to the streets once again. The BJP continues to demand an apology from Rahul Gandhi, claiming that he insulted the OBC community with his statement on Modi.
Mission 2024 turning into a battle of Modi versus Gandhis. The Congress has kick-started its month-long mass agitation, Jai Bharat Mahasatyagraha, to protest what it calls the murder of democracy. The Grand Old Party is milking the disqualification of Rahul Gandhi as an MP to garner sympathy of the Aam Aadmi. On Wednesday, the party's top leaders held a series of press conferences in 35 major cities across the country.
हमारे वक्त में हमारे खिलाफ ये भी बनी थी राहुल गांधी जी राजीव गांधी के वक्त में आपको याद ही है बॉफोर्स को लेके जो झूठा केस बनाया गया तभी जेपी जी बनी थी जेपी जी कई बार बनी है तो जेपी जी बना के आप दूध का दूध पानी का पानी क्यों नहीं करना चाहते हो पूछे ना मोदी जी को नुकसान है अगर कोई गलती नहीं की तो ना अडानी को नुकसान है नुकसान तब है जो कोई गलती की है और सच्चाई सामने आएगी अगर आप जवाब नहीं दे रहे उसका मतलब आप मानते हो आप सच्चाई पे हो तो आप जेपी से बैठाइए मालूम पड़ जाएगा आपको
जेपीसी की जो हमारी मांग है उस पर सरकार ने कुछ नहीं किया उल्टा जो जेपीसी की मांग करने में सबसे आगे आवाज उठाकर चल रहे हैं राहुल गांधी जिनका नाम है उनको परेशान करने में कोई कसर इस सरकार ने नहीं छोड़ी
The Narendra Modi government is fielding its top ministers to defend Rahul's disqualification.
Mindset of Mr. Rahul Gandhi is that he is entitled to rule this country. That is his mindset. That mindset makes him question every court. That mindset makes him question the institution of speaker. That mindset makes him question the very democratic setup that India has.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has taken the fight to the opposition camp by calling the newly forged opposition unity an attempt to protect the corrupt, provoking angry reactions from his rivals.
आप सब देख रहे हैं कुछ दलों ने मिलकर भ्रष्टाचारी बचाओ अभियान छेड़ा हुआ है आज भ्रष्टाचार में लिप्त जितने भी चेहरे हैं वो सब एक साथ एक मंच पर आ रहे हैं पिछले 9 साल में भाजपा सरकार ने भ्रष्टाचार के खिलाफ जो अभियान चलाया उसने आज भ्रष्टाचार और भ्रष्टाचारियों दोनों की जड़ें हिला दी है
भ्रष्टाचारी तो वो खुद है एक लुटेरे लोगों को जो लोग भगोड़े हैं यहाँ के पैसे लेके गए हैं बैंक लूटे हैं कर्जा यानी इंडस्ट्रीज के नाम पे इन्वेस्टमेंट के नाम पे चंद लोग बैंकों से LIC से पैसे उठाकर अपनी संपत्ति बढ़ा रहे हैं और चंद लोग तो भाग जा रहे हैं उनके पीछे तो ये नहीं गिरे उनको तो कुछ भी नहीं बोल रहे उनके बारे में इंक्वायरी करने को तैयार नहीं जेपीसी करने को तैयार नहीं तो क्या वो करप्ट है करप्ट लोगों के साथ मिले हैं क्या हम तो करप्ट लोगों को सपोर्ट वो कर रहे हैं ये चोर उल्टा कोतवाल को डांटे, ऐसी बात हो रही है।
Please be in our chair. Let us allow the
The opposition is keeping the heat on in Parliament as well. For 3 days now, Congress leaders have been attending the House in black attire as they stalled proceedings demanding a JPC probe into the Adani share crisis.
Question number 401.
नो कॉन्फिडेंस मतलब अविश्वास की प्रस्ताव की बात किसी ने कहे होंगे, ऐसा नहीं। हम मेंबरों ने की ये सोच भी रहे हैं, लेकिन इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि अविश्वास प्रस्ताव आ गए हैं, पारित होने वाला है। सर इनकी तो ज़्यादा रंगदारी शंका के बल पे ना, ये सरकार ये क्या है? सरकार ये है कि मतलब टायरानी ऑफ द मेजोरिटी, ये सरकार का असली सूरत है।
In a big show of opposition unity, TMC Supremo Mamata Banerjee is holding a 2-day dharna against the centre in Kolkata. Will Mission 2024 be Modi versus a unified opposition? Much could change in the coming months. Bureau Report, India Today.
Honorable Minister.
State of war Karnataka is now well and truly on. The state goes to polls on the 10th of May. It's a three-way fight between the BJP, the Congress and the JDS. And on the 13th of May, we will know who will rule Karnataka.
The stage is set for Karnataka Assembly elections. The Election Commission on Wednesday announced voting for the 224-member Karnataka Legislative Assembly will be held on May 10th. Results will be declared 3 days later on May 13th. While the election dates have come out, the battle had begun months in advance, with the BJP, Congress and JDS hitting the campaign trail.
BJP is always a ever-ready party. We don't prepare for elections. We prepare for organization and we prepare for welfare of the people, and we are ready.
The BJP is banking heavily on Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who has already visited Karnataka 7 times in the last 3 months. Karnataka Congress Chief Shivakumar has alleged the EC delayed announcement of poll dates to facilitate Prime Minister Modi's inauguration spree in the state.
At any point of time, we are ready. What they do, they took their own time for the Prime Minister, Home Minister come to do and give advertisement to all the media. Congress is well prepared for it.
While the BJP is expected to release their first list next week, the Congress and JDS have already given their first list of 124 and 93 candidates respectively. The BJP is fuming after a few of its leaders crossed over to the Congress in the run-up to the elections.
ನೋಡಿ, ನನಗೆ ಬಂದಿರೋ ಮಾಹಿತಿ DK ಶಿವಕುಮಾರ್ ಅವರು ಈ ಎರಡನೇ ಪಟ್ಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಮಾರು 100 ಸೀಟುಗಳಿಗೇನಿದೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ BJP MLAಗಳು ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಖಾಲಿ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇವೆ, ನಿಮಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಬನ್ನಿ, ನೀವು ಬಂದರೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹಲವಾರು MLAಗಳಿಗೆ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದು ಅವರ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ತೋರಿಸ್ತದೆ.
Corruption is one of the big issues in Karnataka, with the Bommai government being accused of Commission Raj in the state. The BJP has kept the Hindutva pitch alive and is doing some deft social engineering.
As the Election Commission of India announces Karnataka Assembly polls on the pious day of Durga Ashtami, the Congress Party and people of Karnataka resolve to throw out the BJP's 40% commission Sarkara, which has brazenly looted the state.
यह कांग्रेस का बहुत पुराना जुमला है और कांग्रेस कई महीने से कर रही है। कांग्रेस जमीन पे कहीं है नहीं। पिछले 3 से 4 महीने देखेंगे तो कांग्रेस ने कोई कार्यक्रम नहीं किया। आपस में DK कुमार और सिद्धरमैया की जो झगड़ा है, एक दूसरे को देखते नहीं है, उसके कारण कांग्रेस में भी काफी अपना सिर फटौल हो रहा है।
While Karnataka is a do-or-die battle for the Congress, which is reduced to power in just 2 states, the BJP is fighting to retain its only southern state.
Congress are quite confident that they will be winning this particular election after aggressive campaign against BJP of corruption charges. But BJP believe that Prime Minister Narendra Modi's wave as well as Yediyurappa will try to fetch the votes for them in the days to come. On the other side, the kingmaker JDS believe that they might play a crucial role in this particular election, where HD Kumaraswamy had said that he have offers from both the parties to join the hands. With you, journalist Shivamurthy Sagairaj reporting for India Today, Bengaluru.
You heard Sagairaj's report there. Very interesting point he makes. While both the Congress and the BJP insist victory is theirs, apparently both have also reached out to the JDS. So the countdown for this high-stakes election in Karnataka, that's begun. All eyes now also on HD Kumaraswamy. He, in an exclusive interview to India Today, said both the Congress and the BJP have reached out to him. Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai claims a Congress-JDS deal is already not just in the works, it's a done deal according to him. But will HD Kumaraswamy be a king or a kingmaker in this election? We get to this exclusive interview.
A show of opposition unity. The occasion, HD Kumaraswamy being sworn in as Karnataka Chief Minister. That was in 2018. But what about 2023? This election season, the eyes are once again on HD Kumaraswamy. Which way will he and his party go? In an exclusive interview to India Today, Kumaraswamy declared that he was being wooed by both the BJP and the Congress.
Do you have pressure from the centre saying come with us? Have they already spoken to you?
Offer is there.
You have already offered?
Offer is there.
Okay.
Everybody offering me.
Even Congress is offering?
Everybody is offering me. They know their strength, what is their strength internally, they know.
Okay.
Some important persons who are approaching to thinking that this time also fracture will be there.
Hours after poll dates were announced, Chief Minister Bommai declared that a JDS Congress deal was done.
It is in fact, there was a meeting in Hyderabad between Congress leaders and JDS. According to my information, a deal has been struck there.
Adding fuel to the political fire is top Karnataka Congress face.
ಸಾರಿ ಆಗಿತ್ತು ಮತ್ತೆ ಆಗೋದನ್ನ ರೂಲ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಫಿಕ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ಆದರೂ
So will Kumaraswamy be king or kingmaker? Karnataka will know on 13th of May. With Nagarjun Dwarkanath and Sagairaj in Bengaluru, Bureau Report, India Today.
Okay, let's now cut across to Business Today's most powerful Women in Business Awards. Women and Child Development Minister Smriti Irani live in Mumbai. Let's cut across.
Spears, I would rather that it be looked upon as a platform where multiple voices can converge for a greater good. That being said, when you call women powerful, how would you define power?
Okay, I'm going to relate an incident, and I know I'm interrupting you to define what Smriti Irani is all about. I was on the campaign trail when she was in Amethi in 2019, and a big wildfire broke out. Her cars were caught in it, so was our car, and a big ember came and fell on her right foot. You know what she did? She just took off that chappal. I had a bottle of Bisleri water in my hand. She poured it over her foot and kept walking on. Isn't that a powerful moment?
No, I think that's every woman. What is fascinating about Siddharth's description is that he had the water in his hand, but he did not deem it fit to douse the fire himself. Typical man. Doesn't know what to do when there is an emergency. It always rests upon the woman to give a solution with alacrity.
I know I set myself up for that, but I'm glad all of you are having a good laugh. But Smriti Irani, that constituency that you have fought in is not a normal constituency in my reckoning. I'm a business reporter, but I've also covered the political economy for 2 decades. And in 2014, when you went there was not one glass ceiling. I would say there were multiple ceilings that tried to work against you. In 2019, you broke those ceilings and you broke them very, very convincingly further. What was that make or break moment when you broke away from that old mold in a family borough?
I think that I was not sent to Amethi to contest that election because I was the female candidate. I was dispatched to Amethi because I was the best candidate to give that family a run for the money. And why I say this is because when there is a victory or a defeat, we suddenly start looking at the substance called gender. But we need to recognize today that gender is not the only qualifier for every woman who succeeds. Or for that matter, disqualification for every woman who doesn't succeed. And that is why I said, can you define power? Because our perspective towards power is so myopic that we look upon it from a perspective of position, from a perspective of bank balance, from a perspective of what assets we have. I think a woman is truly powerful when she knows her own aptitude, when she knows the realm in which she wants to leverage her capacities, and when she takes a decision for herself. That is power. Because many a times, women are burdened when they are in a position of decision making as to how that decision affects everybody else first, before she thinks upon herself as a cause and effect situation. So for me, power is when you have the audacity to take a decision because that decision best suits you, without bothering about how you will be judged. And that is why I said, power, if this is how you define it, then every woman who's conscientious, every woman who's conscious of her own capacity, and every woman who knows that there is a cost to pay for being abrasive enough to be just herself, she is a powerful woman. The biggest, I think, disservice we do to women across all communities is when we define her power, again, from a perspective of a corporate position, a bank balance, or her status due to a relationship. The minute you say a woman who takes decisions for herself and is not apologetic about it, that woman for me is a powerful woman.
India is a society and an economy of many layers. How many women in India actually know about their true power?
I have done this before, and you have been a partner in crime in those conversations that we have had across the country, where we have had a conversation with women professionals, CEOs, CFOs, those who own businesses, and the question that I've asked them is, how many of you with great paychecks last balanced your own books? How many of you made your own decision to buy a house without consulting anybody else, or were dominant in that decision making within your family structure? How many of you take a decision to buy, let's say, a stock and do not have to ask somebody else, not in terms of permission, but even refer to somebody else, compared to the men in your family who would not bother and ask you which stock to invest in, which mutual fund is looking very, very enticing? How many of you are in that capacity? And I was a bit overwhelmed, where irrespective of how well such women were doing professionally, these were the decisions that they were not making, which means that there is a difference between creating wealth and controlling wealth.
There's also another question that you have asked audiences in the past, and I want you to ask that question once again. It is about wills. Could you please...
No, I think this is the BT audience. So here we have the wealth creators, the wealth controllers, and like Zia said in the last session, if you're not one of those who facilitate such creation within a corporate organization, the best is to ensure that there is a fiscal penalty for it.
But I will still get the audience to do a show of hands here. This is a question that Smriti Irani ji has asked of audiences in the past. How many of you, the ladies here, have actually gotten their husbands to write a will and have actually seen it in terms of what is going to happen? Okay.
Not many. Let's be honest. Parsis are disqualified from this because they tend to get abrasive easily. But I think that the fact that there were a very few hands which went up, this is a very difficult conversation for any woman to have in a family unit. The fact whether the male partner has made a will, how much is the insurance money, those are conversations if the women in the family start having. The first question that is societally posed is, "Arey, tum marne ka intezar kar rahe ho?" Not that you need to plan, because we have known of many women who have belonged to many and esteemed families, suddenly left adrift because this planning was not done for themselves and for the children that they are to look after. And even if they don't have children, to just look after their own business interests. So I think that these are the uncomfortable conversations that need to be had, because these are conversations that protect families, not only individuals. And till such time we do not make these conversations comfortable in our own family drawing rooms, I don't think we can speak about complete empowerment or emancipation. And I believe that it begins from the teenage life of a young girl. When you talk about financial literacy, and Arundhati ji is here somewhere in the room, when you talk about financial literacy, there was a time where financial literacy was knowing about what is the banking system. I think we've gone way beyond that. Now is the time not only to teach about mutual funds, not only to teach about the stock exchange, but also how many of us educate young girls to say that your first ambition should be to buy your own house, to create a capital asset by the time, let's say, you're 25. So if those aspects become a part of our financial literacy engagements, including make a will, including how do you approach the issue of insurance, which includes not only personal insurance, insurance for your family, insurance for your business. I think that those are the aspects that need greater reflection and conversation around.
India is the startup capital of the world, but my question is not a question for the boardroom audience. Are homemakers not powerful women?
They are, but I think that if you tell me that how I am as a homemaker needs to be quantified financially, that means you will tell me whether my love is good enough as a mother to tell me how many rupees should it be slotted under. So there is a different opinion I have on this particular issue. When we say let's quantify what is the contribution of a homemaker, let's quantify how much monetary value can you attach to the love a wife has for a husband. Let's quantify how much money is good enough for you to be denoted as a good mother or a bad mother. So I think that those concepts which have been, let's say, discussed in Europe may not be concepts which are acceptable to women here. If I am admonishing my child, क्या आप वो पैसा भत्ता काट लोगे? No, those are the complications that you need to address. But when you look at the latent talent, you're talking about the startup ecosystem, you're talking about, let's say, unicorns. Those are very progressive economic initiatives. But let's look at the base of women that we have today and how are they economically franchised. You have over 400 million women today in our country who are in the age group of the workforce, out of which 300 million women are in the unorganized segment. But when we look at even the organized segment, and I was listening to the panel just before mine, what are the 2-3 challenges that we have? Apart from the fact that we are looking at boardrooms, one of the issues that we need to look at is what are the negotiating skills that we teach young women when they get into a corporate entity.
टाइमिंग की बात करते हैं तो बहुत सारे लोग टाइमिंग, किसी भी एक्शन को टाइमिंग से जोड़ते हैं कि ये फेयर था या नहीं फेयर था। जैसे मान लीजिए बीबीसी ने सरकार के खिलाफ कोई डॉक्यूमेंट्री दिखा दी तो कुछ हफ्तों के बाद उनके ऊपर आईटी की कार्रवाई हो गई।
नहीं, मैं तो डॉक्यूमेंट्री के टाइमिंग पर सवाल उठाता हूँ। ये पूरी घटना 2002 की है, चुनाव है 2024 में, आप 2023 में देखा, तो आप इसके टाइमिंग की क्यों बात नहीं कर रहे हो भाई? और जहां तक ये इनकम टैक्स के टाइमिंग की बात है, मैंने भी पूछा किसी को, ये 3 साल से इनके साथ कॉरेस्पॉन्डेंस हो रहा है। अब कोई अपने आप को कानून से ऊपर मानेगा तो कोई नहीं है कानून के ऊपर, सबने कानून के हिसाब से चलना पड़ेगा और आगे बढ़ना पड़ेगा।
Arnab, after Jio's telecom price wars, what's the Reliance game plan in the FMCG space?
Given the kind of action that is happening in the market, because Reliance has already invested over $1.1 billion in acquisition of brands and partnerships as per a recent report, and it is expected by Morgan Stanley and JP Morgan that it is going to invest another $4 billion in over the next 3 to 5 years, which is equivalent to 33,000 crore in today's currency terms. So that is a significant investment that they are making, and the market competitors in the market like other leading players, FMCG players, are obviously taking note. Like for example, very recently, Mr. Varun Bedi has said that he is closely watching the development that Reliance and the new products that are coming up from the behemoth. And secondly, if you look at the Reliance's game plan, they have not only purchased new brands or launched new products, but they have also hired some of the key industry veterans. Like for example, they have hired Mr. K. Krishna Kumar to head their beverages portfolio, which now includes Campa Cola, a well-known brand from 1970s and 80s. So, of course, industry competitors like HUL and others are obviously watching the developments very closely, and given the kind of price that Reliance is offering in competition to these leading multinationals, of course, there could be some price cuts by them as well, the industry insiders tell us. And if you notice that HUL, after cutting pack sizes significantly over the last 2 years due to inflation, they have now started to increase their pack sizes in terms of grammage. They have started to increase the size of their packs at the same rate of late in the last one and a half months.
All these years, we've ogled and been awestruck by this foldable, because Samsung really has enjoyed the first mover advantage here in India and in most parts of the world. More importantly, a monopoly with the Samsung Flip 4 and of course the Samsung Fold. When we talk about Oracle's journey in India, it's been nearly 3 decades, milestone year for you guys, and we're here on the sidelines of a big summit for Oracle India. Now, just so that our viewers understand what that journey's been like, because if you look at Oracle's blueprint in India from a database provider to a cloud solution provider, what was that transition like?
So Ayush, as you rightly said, we are celebrating our 30 years, 3 decades. And in the last 3 decades, we have been able to work with government, enterprises, small and medium business, and startups. To talk about our journey, we have been associated with all the big projects across banking, across telecom. In fact, today, governments, most of the big projects, they run on Oracle. The financial backbone in the country runs on Oracle. All telcos run on Oracle. So it's been really good. Talking about the digital journey, we set up our 2 data centers in India. The first one was set up in 2019 in Mumbai, and the second one was 2020 in Hyderabad. Those data centers really helped us to catapult our customers to 20,000, which is certainly a big achievement for us. And again, coming from all kind of industries, all kind of enterprises, that has really helped us. Today we are 45,000 in India, 45,000 employees. All lines of businesses are represented very much here. So these are the kind of things which have been game changer for us. Some of the big projects you see in the country, whether it's UPI or the initiatives which the banks are taking, or you talk about automobile industry, you talk about, say, income tax, everywhere we have been able to participate and have been able to contribute our bit here.
Since we were talking about that 30-year journey, some of the things you mentioned are very interesting because a lot of them have happened in the last 10 years, especially since 2016, be it the implementation of GST or UPI, the fintech revolution that we're seeing in India. And it's grown at such a rapid pace that it's unparalleled and genuinely unprecedented in any part of the world. Now, Oracle is a big global company. When you do visit some of the other places where the country operates, I'm guessing there are a lot of lessons to be learned from the India story.
I fully agree. The kind of projects which are happening here, starting from what we saw in Aadhaar, then GST, then talking about COVID, 2.2 billion vaccinations on the cloud. It's an amazing story, and people are amazed to see the kind of things which are happening. We are participating with the Government of India on a project called Diksha, which is digital infrastructure for knowledge sharing. The projects of that scale are nowhere. And not only they have been conceived well, they are getting implemented, and the benefits are getting accrued to the end users. So I fully agree. There are a lot of things that other countries now can learn from us.
The most frequently taken for granted, ignored, last on the priority list. We're talking about the health of women that gets the least amount of attention and actually deserves the maximum. And that is the reason this Women's Day we decided to do a bit of a rethink on what women should and must do for improving their health and their lifestyle. These are the things we must all follow. Fitness and food. This is a much needed power combination for women's health and longevity. The idea of fitness for many women is just losing weight. Healthy eating and diet and exercise are equally important in controlling weight as well as overall health management. No to toxins. Alcohol, smoking, excessive sugar, junk, mindless eating. These ensure that toxins stay on in the body. These toxins have a proven history of negative impact on ovarian health. Wellness. A comprehensive view of your health. Healthy body, mind and soul are important. The time is truly now to shift focus from only physical activity to mental health and wellness program like yoga and meditation as a full package to good health. Preventive care. Early diagnosis and vaccinations are important. For ailment like breast cancer, for example, preventive health becomes extremely important. Women must watch out for any sign and warnings such as irregular periods, lump in the breast or any unusual discharge.
HPV, human papilloma virus, one of the causative factor for a cervical cancer. So this is one cancer where a vaccine is available. So should be given to, I would say, young girls starting from the age of 9.
That is the only way to remain fit and healthy. For the same, acknowledge that your body is important.
Low hemoglobin will feel fatigued, lethargic, then like vitamin B12, vitamin D, If they are less, then it gives a lot of aches and pains in legs. A lot of ladies complain about backache and they are not feeling up to the mark to do some kind of work or these things. So according to the requirement, thyroid, one of the things, if there is the thyroid is on a higher side, the patient may bleed more. There is a little weight gain with hypothyroid. So if there are any symptoms, they are specifically feeling low, lethargic, then they should go for this testing.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
मेरे लिए मोटिवेशन थी कि मैं इस देश के लिए वर्ल्ड कप जीतना चाहता था.
Cricket heals India.
सबने यही कहा, just go out there and lift this cup.
Yeah, stars had aligned.
I really do feel this is like yesterday.
You have this confidence, that we can lift the cup. We always had that belief.
This was the moment when it came together. They were the children of destiny, the men of destiny.
Nothing could pin them down.
Tonight at 9 p.m. on the news today with me, Rajdeep Sardesai. The Congress takes its battle on Rahul Gandhi and the Gautam Adani issue nationwide. But is the campaign really getting traction on the ground? Dr. Shashi Tharoor and Prakash Zavadekar will join us with two sides of that big story. Also, the election bugle sounded for Karnataka, who has the momentum in the next battleground state. All that and much more on the news.
Co-presented by Star Health Insurance, the health insurance specialist. Co-presented by Panasonic, create today, enrich tomorrow.
Co-presented by
JK Tyre Ranger Series, stay wild at heart.
The Prime Minister versus the Gandhis, the battle lines have been drawn. Is the Congress's sympathy bid over Rahul Gandhi's disqualification working on the ground or not? That's the question we'll ask. Shashi Tharoor and Prakash Zavadekar will be my two special guests tonight. Also, who has the advantage as the bugle is sounded in the battleground state of Karnataka? All that and more in a moment, but first, as always, the 9 headlines at 9 tonight. Countdown to Karnataka election officially kicks off. Single phase election to be held on the 10th of May. Results on the 13th. Former MP Rahul Gandhi to lead the Congress's charge in Karnataka with a Satyameva Jayate Yatra from Kolar, the same place where he made the Chor Modi comment in 2019. Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla reinstates Lakshadweep MP Mohammad Faisal's membership just hours before the Supreme Court was to take up his case. Kerala High Court had earlier stayed his conviction in a murder case. The opposition questions, why did the speaker take so long? Fugitive Amritpal releases a video from his hideout, plays victim, calls for mobilization. Supreme Court slams hate speech, says hate speeches will go away only when politicians stop using religion in politics. Rajasthan High Court acquits all the accused in the deadly Jaipur serial blast of 2008 that had claimed 71 lives and left 180 injured. Namibian cheetah gives birth to 4 cubs at Madhya Pradesh's Kuno National Park 3 days after Sasha, one of the cheetahs, died due to kidney ailments. Russia's largest oil producer, Rosneft, inks a deal with India to substantially increase oil supplies. This as Russia reroutes traditional supply routes in Europe amidst the ongoing war. And artist Vivan Sundaram passes away at 79. He pioneered multidisciplinary art forms to reflect contemporary issues. What's breaking this evening is that Congress leader Rahul Gandhi will be kick-starting his post-disqualification campaign now with a rally in Karnataka called the Satyameva Jayate rally on the 5th of April from Kolar. Significantly, it was in Kolar where Rahul Gandhi made the Modi remark which led to his disqualification from Parliament. So Rahul Gandhi now, according to the Congress, will go back and begin his post-disqualification campaign from Kolar, where he had begun, where it had all started in a way with those remarks he made in 2019. Now, all of this is coming as the Congress is upping the ante against the centre with its democracy disqualified protest campaign. A day after Prime Minister Narendra Modi taunted the Congress and said that this was a Bhrashtachari Bachao Andolan, Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge accused the Prime Minister of letting corrupt people escape the country. The BJP continues to demand an apology from Rahul Gandhi, saying he's insulted the OBC community. But can Rahul Gandhi garner sympathy at a time like this? That's going to be the question we'll raise. Take a look at our top story.
Mission 2024 turning into a battle of Modi versus Gandhis. The Congress has kick-started its month-long mass agitation, Jai Bharat Mahasatyagraha, to protest what it calls the murder of democracy. The Grand Old Party is milking the disqualification of Rahul Gandhi as an MP to garner sympathy of the Aam Aadmi. On Wednesday, the party's top leaders held a series of press conferences.
KPG बना के आप दूध का दूध पानी का पानी क्यों नहीं करना चाहते हो? पूछे ना मोदी जी को नुकसान है अगर कोई गलती नहीं की तो ना अडानी को नुकसान है नुकसान तब है कोई गलती की है और सच्चाई सामने आएगी.
The Narendra Modi government is fielding its top ministers to defend Rahul's disqualification.
Mindset of Mr. Rahul Gandhi is that he is entitled to rule this country. That is his mindset. That mindset makes him question every court. That mindset makes him question the institution of speaker. That mindset makes him question the very democratic setup that India has.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has taken the fight to the opposition camp by calling the newly forged opposition unity an attempt to protect the corrupt, provoking angry reactions from his rivals.
आप सब देख रहे हैं कुछ दलों ने मिलकर भ्रष्टाचारी बचाओ अभियान छेड़ा हुआ है. आज भ्रष्टाचार में लिप्त जितने भी चेहरे हैं वो सब एक साथ एक मंच पर आ रहे हैं.
भ्रष्टाचारी तो वो खुद है. एक लुटेरे लोगों को जो लोग भगोड़े हैं, यहाँ के पैसे लेके गए हैं, बैंक लूटे हैं, कर्जा यानी इंडस्ट्रीज के नाम पे, इन्वेस्टमेंट के नाम पे चंद लोग बैंकों से, LIC से पैसे उठाकर अपनी संपत्ति बढ़ा रहे हैं और चंद लोग तो भाग जा रहे हैं. उनके पीछे तो ये नहीं गिरे, उनको तो कुछ भी नहीं बोल रहे, उनके बारे में इंक्वायरी करने को तैयार नहीं.
Please be in our chair. Let us allow the...
The opposition is keeping the heat on in Parliament as well. For 3 days now, Congress leaders have been attending the House in black attire as they stalled proceedings demanding a JPC probe into the Adani share crisis.
Question number 401.
In a big show of opposition unity, TMC Supremo Mamata Banerjee is holding a 2-day dharna against the centre in Kolkata.
সংবিধান সম্বন্ধ জ্ঞান দিচ্ছেন ममता जी का हिम्मत है अगर जरूरत पड़े तो पीएम का हाउस का पास में भी ममता जी बैठ सकते हैं.
Will Mission 2024 be Modi versus a unified opposition? Much could change in the coming months. Bureau Report, India Today.
Honorable Minister.
So how is this Rahul factor really playing out on the ground? That's the question we want to raise. I'm joined by two guests, first Shashi Tharoor and then Prakash Zavadekar. Let's go first to my first guest, Shashi Tharoor, senior Congress leader, now joins me, member of Parliament from Thiruvananthapuram. Dr. Tharoor, is the Congress agitation against Rahul Gandhi's disqualification really gaining traction as you try and spread it nationwide, or is it simply failing to take off? Even in Wayanad, with due regard, sir, the fact is that we haven't seen that kind of public support, at least public protests, we haven't seen on Rahul Gandhi's disqualification. What does that suggest? Why is there an absence of any large-scale protest?
It suggests to me that perhaps, if you look at different places at different times, you get different impressions. I've been in Thiruvananthapuram yesterday in Guruvayur, and I can tell you that the turnout has been exceptional in both places. Unfortunately, so exceptional that in Trivandrum we had some terrible police brutality as unarmed youth Congress activists out in the street shouting were assaulted brutally by the Kerala police with lathis and worse. They were beaten on heads and bodies, and even innocent passers-by got bruised from these attacks. So clearly, if nothing was happening, these things wouldn't be happening. I visited some of the victims in hospital. It's pretty grim stuff going on. But the truth is that there is a fair amount of traction that I can see, but I agree that it may not be evenly spread everywhere. Wayanad people and people generally across our country have fundamental issues of life, of employment, of income, of inflation to worry about. And therefore, it's not that they don't care, it's just that there are things they're trying to do to keep their own body and soul together. That's essentially the only difference that I see. I don't think it's a lack of traction. I think it's that naturally people have other things. It's the politically committed who are out there every single day, and that the Congress has been able to sustain that so far suggests that the Congress people, at least workers and supporters, are strongly mobilized.
But Dr. Tharoor, there has been an attempt by the Congress to evoke sympathy for Rahul Gandhi. I saw a social media campaign, Mere Ghar Aao Rahul Gandhi, because he's going to lose his government bungalow. There doesn't seem to be, though, on the ground, beyond the Congress cadres, the kind of widespread sympathy perhaps that maybe the Congress was hoping for. Rahul Gandhi doesn't seem to be an Indira Gandhi of the 70s who could go to a Chikmagalur, win her by-election after she lost her membership in 77. Do you agree that Rahul Gandhi is yet to evoke that wider sympathy outside your hardcore Congress cadres?
Rajiv, I can only talk about what I see, and I've been in Kerala the whole of this week, and I can tell you that here there is tremendous public sympathy. So much so that I'm picking this up even from people who are not Congress sympathizers. There is a genuine perception that democracy is under threat here. Because even people who don't really like Rahul Gandhi or want to vote for the Congress, when you ask them, is it good for democracy that the principal leader of the major opposition party is going to go to jail for 2 years and will not be able to raise his voice in Parliament for 8? Is that good for democracy? And even people who say they voted for the BJP last time are saying, that's really not good. That's not what our democracy should be all about. That's what I'm hearing more and more. Public sympathy is there. Maybe not everybody who sympathizes publicly will come out in the street and brave the police lathis. But the perception that this is about something even larger than an individual or a particular party, but is about saving our democracy, that perception is widespread in Kerala. Now, that's for Kerala that I can speak about because that's where I am. If you're telling me that it's not where you are, then clearly there are different perceptions. But I have no doubt that this has gained a lot of traction, this message.
Okay, Kerala is not India, Dr. Tharoor, but let's look at what has been the central issue raised by Rahul Gandhi, the Adani issue. For the last 8 years, Dr. Tharoor, Rahul Gandhi has constantly called the Modi government an Adani Ambani ki sarkar, and yet you lost 2 elections badly in 2014 and 19. So what can be different in 2024 when once again Rahul Gandhi takes the Adani issue on the center stage? Is it that you are still not able to connect this Adani question or the claim that it's a scam to a politically, electorally viable weapon?
Look, let me speak personally. I'm not an official spokesman of the party, nor am I a strategist for the party who decides these things. But what I believe is in raising questions in the interest of accountability, but moving on to issues that touch the daily lives of my voters. And if I speak to them of issues like unemployment, inflation, lack of credible measures of governance, whether in Karnataka, in Kerala, of course, the governance is by the communists, but elsewhere, very, very frankly, the echoes I get back are very encouraging for the Congress and for other opposition parties. I once in Mumbai was in a room with 500 people, and I asked the question, how many of you, and these are middle-class people, I agree they're not the poorest of the poor, but nor are they some affluent elite 5-star hotel crowd. I said, how many of you have had your lives improved because of decisions or actions taken by this BJP government since 2014? And in that 500-strong crowd, one person raised her hand. One person. Now, that's the kind of impact that this government has to realize its policies have failed to have. Maybe in some villages where there were no toilets before, the fact that toilets have come will win them votes. But there's certainly in urban India, what I'm seeing, and amongst the middle class, is a terrible sense of alienation, now compounded with this latest development by a sense that democracy that they've taken for granted is under threat. You know, Radip, I'll tell you, I spoke to a BJP supporter just a couple of days ago who said to me, you know, Mr. Modi is prime minister because of democracy. He was an OBC person. He said, you know, we, OBCs and others, have rights because of democracy. We can't accept that democracy should in any way be diluted because democracy is what has given us what we value. Now, maybe he's an exceptionally thoughtful BJP voter, but that's the kind of message I'm picking up. And I think those are vulnerabilities we in the Congress can exploit. But the Rahul Gandhi issue is not just about one remark, one judgment, one sentence.
But are you in a way accepting, Dr. Tharoor, that the Congress cannot focus its narrative or debate only on the Adani issue? That you're going to have to localize your campaign. In states like Karnataka, if the Congress wants to get the traction, you can only get it if you localize a campaign, not by focusing on Gautam Adani. You'll have to connect to people's issues on the ground, which hasn't happened.
See, Rajiv, I preface this by saying I'm not the party strategist, but common sense tells me that we can't contest elections on any one issue. We have to have multiple issues. I will certainly continue to raise the questions that Rahul Gandhi has been raising. I will also raise Rahul Gandhi's own situation and the undemocratic behavior of the government. But I will also raise unemployment, inflation, the extraordinarily poor governance, say in Karnataka, where I'm hoping to appear next week. There's going to be questions and issues we will all have to raise across the board. In state assembly elections, there'll be a greater emphasis on local issues. When we come to 24, there'll have to be national issues. But there's got to be a palette of issues. No party, unless there is a major mahal, wins an election on one issue alone. This is not so far a one-issue election. It's a multiple issue election. It's an are you better off than you used to be election, in my view. And frankly, after 10 years of BJP rule, if you're not better off, why are you voting for them again? There's absolutely no reason to.
You know, the reason is the Prime Minister keeps saying that the Congress is a party of entitled Dennis, out at the moment to protect one family, versus his government, which he says is rooted to, which is dedicated to rooting corruption and the welfare of the people. That has been the focus of the BJP. Do you believe that narrative will play out again in 2024, Kamdar versus Namdar? Is it all building again, once again, towards that?
I mean, this business about entitled highness is a bit amusing coming from the beneficiary and architect of the biggest personality cult we have seen in this country since 1971. Have you ever seen, I mean, the way in which nowadays even BJP ministers can't answer questions in parliament without some ritual genuflection to their real leader? You could almost be in North Korea, Razi. I mean, it's just astonishing, the personality cult that has been built around our prime minister. And for that prime minister to talk about somebody else being a Shahzada or being a dynast is frankly laughable, because nobody in any other party has the kind of personality cult built behind them that we've seen around Mr. Narendra Modi. I mean, I can respect individuals for what they accomplish, but I respect them also when they're accountable to the general public, not when they build themselves out and up into being larger than life figures who somehow have to be deified by their own party members. And listen, I talk to BJP people all the time, in parliament and outside it. It's not that I'm giving you a line that's merely the Congress party echo chamber, as some people might suggest. I always believe in politics, you appeal to people, not just from your own support group, as it were, but from across the spectrum. And I speak to people of various political persuasions, including the uncommitted, the neutral. And I think these perceptions, of which the Prime Minister and his party are blissfully unaware, also exist. And I think they should realize that, you know, there are a lot of Indians who, if they're not very keen on dynasty, are not very keen on a sort of Maoist or North Korean style personality cult either.
Now, that's the second time you've used a North Korean analogy, almost Shahzada versus Raja. But the Prime Minister said yesterday, Dr. Tharoor, that this is a coalition of the corrupt that is emerging around Rahul Gandhi and the opposition. The corrupt are trying in a way to protect. The corrupt is what was suggested by Prime Minister Modi, and are using Rahul Gandhi's disqualification to gang up against the BJP. And the people, he said, of the country will not accept such a corrupt grouping coming up. How do you respond to that?
Unfortunately, this is one charge, I'm afraid, that the Prime Minister has used too often. Corruption seems to be a convenient label to apply only to the opposition. All the inquiries, ED and CBI and enforcement, I mean, income tax, revenue intelligence, all of that is always targeting the opposition. 95% of ED investigations in the last few years have been against opposition MPs or business people supporting the opposition. Whereas every person against whom an inquiry is in process suddenly gets washed clean when he joins the BJP. It's become a cynical exercise. I'm afraid corruption is no longer a credible thing for the BJP to accuse anybody of, because they whitewash the corrupt routinely. They take on corrupt people shamelessly. In fact, they corrupt some people in order to take them on by their so-called Operation Lotus. In many states, they have bought MLAs who won on other parties' tickets and brought them over. Honestly, if there's any case of corrupt shielding the corrupt, it has to be the BJP and not the opposition. The opposition doesn't have the resources to do the kind of corruption that the government has been doing. It really is, I'm sorry to say, a futile charge. I don't think the public buys it anymore. They've seen that, unfortunately, on these matters, everyone appears to be tarnished. And I would say that, you know, we have also raised some very serious picture issues on what I would politely dub financial irregularity rather than corruption. And the Prime Minister has refrained from answering. So, you know, I think flinging these pointless charges about is not going to get anyone anywhere. I think it's important now to focus very, very clearly on issues. Karnataka, the people have had 5 years of bad governance, and it's time for the reckoning, which is why they're running a desperately Hindutva campaign, resurrecting everything from hijab to love jihad to Tipu Sultan, and even apparently ascribing to two fictional characters the credit for killing Tipu Sultan in order to get some community votes in that process. I mean, this is the kind of politics the BJP is resorting to. I think the people of Karnataka will not be fooled again.
Let's leave it there, Dr. Tharoor. You've given us where the Congress stands on Rahul Gandhi's disqualification.